Yeah, show me my opponent. Top spot, I want it. My grind, I'm on it. Can't stop, keep going. Wanna know me, can't call me. I remember feeling lonely. I remember when they told me I would never get the trophy. Show me my opponent. Top spot, I want it. My grind, I'm on it. Can't stop, keep going. Wanna know me, can't clone me. I remember feeling hungry. Now I'm coming for the trophy. Cause this is my moment. I'm a boss till I fall, I'ma answer the call. I'm a beast, I'm a dog, and my back against the wall. I accept every challenge, had to battle for my balance. From a peasant to the palace, treat the trophy like a chalice. Stayed on my grind, great things take time. Now how I shine, you might go blind. Come along for the ride, cause I'm headed to the top with it. Going is my only option, they can never ever stop this. Show me my opponent, top spot, I want it. My grind, I'm on it. Can't stop, keep going. Wanna know me, can't clone me. I remember feeling lonely. I remember when they told me I would never get the trophy. Show me my opponent. Top spot, I want it. My grind, I'm on it. Can't stop, keep going. Wanna know me, can't clone me. I remember feeling hungry. Now I'm coming for the trophy. Cause this is my moment. My moment. My moment. So many days, so many nights, I had to fall, I had to fight, I had to find the strength inside, keep hope alive. Through the dark, I found my light and now I shine. So many days, so many nights, I had to fall, I had to fight, I had to find the strength inside, keep hope alive. Through the dark, I found the light and now it's mine. Cause this is my moment. My moment. Cause this is my moment.
bounce. Everybody love a comeback, gotta love a good comeback. Now you witnessing a comeback. Everybody love a comeback, gotta love a good comeback. They say pressure bust pipes, so what's the win without a comeback? So what's the win without a comeback? Hustling every day to win. Now you witnessing a comeback. I'm not the one that you should play with. Better stick with who you came with. You ain't a thug, you a plaintiff. And I might jack dangerous. Moonwalking through a jam. Thread a slide for the bread. Watch them pray on my downfall. Hoping that they get ahead. So we don't give them no respect. It's just time to shuffle deck. Hit the body, clip the neck. Cause you know that more is less. Yes. Yes, Lord, I gotta win by any means, I'm all for it. I got a little strategy, and I won't blow it. I feel like I got Cali keys, show me the door. Cause they just want apologies, and never war. So we hit them with apostrophes, on they score. That's money, boy. Everybody love a comeback, gotta love a good comeback. They say pressure bust pipes, so what's the win without a comeback? So what's the win without a comeback? Hustling every day to win. Now you witnessing a comeback. Everybody love a comeback. Gotta love a good comeback. They say pressure bust pipes. So what's the win without a comeback? So what's the win without a comeback? Hustling every day to win. Now you witnessing a comeback. Game 7 with the comeback. Second left with the comeback. Being Brian when I inspire. Real rap, that's all fact. Yeah. Tell me how you love that. Y'all middlemen, your fans. I'm trying to show them where to plug at. I'm trying to show them how to get back. Hustle up and get a kickback. That real motivation. Chill bumps when they hear that. Talking real demonstration. That Nipsey dedication. Hustling every day to win. That NEP mission statement. Never ending power. Look how I innovated. This that 10,000 hours. You get paid from your patience. Game need renovating. Hey, lucky I don't cave it. I ain't nothing to play with. Boy, I'm about to go ape shit. Everybody love a comeback. Gotta love a good comeback. They say pressure bust pipes. So what's the win without a comeback? So what's the win without a comeback? Hustling every day to win. Now you witnessing a comeback. Everybody love a comeback. Gotta love a good comeback. They say pressure bust pipes. So what's the win without a comeback? So what's the win without a comeback? Hustling every day to win. Now you witnessing a comeback. Get your hands up. Let's go, dig it. Get your hands up. Here we go now.
Here we go now.
I'm here to win a championship and put out a good game for the spectators.
都进了决赛，我们有更大的信心，可以拿下这次的冠军。
Penta yang bersama untuk WCS ini.
It's a great Sunday afternoon. Welcome to the penultimate day of the WCS Malaysia-Singapore playoffs. Today, it will be the lower bracket finals. One best of 7 to determine who faces off against Sam9 tomorrow and who packs up their bags and finish third place. I'm Husky, and alongside me is Lionel. How are you feeling?
I mean, I'm doing good, man, you know. First day is already the low bracket finals for me, you know, forecasting. So, like, I've been thrown into the heap of it to the end of it. So, I'm ready, man. I'm ready to just go for this day.
Yeah, I'm super ready as well, right? Yesterday we saw two great series between Sam9 RSG. We also saw Phantom6 take down Upcar for the second time, but in a more convincing way. So we are in for a series, right? We all had our internal predictions on who is going to take the kick. But of course, if you guys out there wants to join the conversation, do remember that you can be a part of this. All of your memes, all of your videos, they have been awesome. But do remember, when you post those online, use the hashtag WCS MYSG, or we might miss out on it. But if you do, then you stand a chance to be featured on our live broadcast. Also, follow us on our social media, Facebook, Wild Rift Esports MYSG, because that is where everything happens. You get all the news, all the updates, all the memes, all the happiness and sadness about your favorite teams in our group. So yeah, check that out.
Yeah, I've been loving the memes, honestly, coming in from all the fans. You know, they've been making great memes. Some, you know, I would say not really safe for work, but honestly, you know, behind closed doors, they're great memes to see. Like, I'm loving the passion, honestly, coming from the region. You know, like that is really what's been lacking, honestly, from me. Like, I love to see the fan interaction coming in. So make sure you guys hashtag and send us in some memes. You know.
A lot of engagement, right? We see how they follow the storyline. They create their own banter for us. Some of our resources came from there, right? We look at the memes and we were like, yeah, the Thor Ragnarok, that's how Upcar has been when they took down Sam9. Obviously, that storyline has came to an abrupt end yesterday in the lower bracket semi. But Phantom6, they have been in this position before. Last year during 4th season for Icon Series, they also made a lower bracket run. But I think this time the stakes are a bit higher. They are up against RSG.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be the first person to say we didn't really expect Phantom6 to be in this position where they are contesting for a grand final spot. I mean, not to say they're not a great team, but Watermelon, Upcar, they've been playing so well. You know, Phantom6, of course, they were in the conversation, but no one would really say that, you know, wow, we're going to see them in grand finals, probably, most probably.
Yeah.
It depends.
Feels like we're seeing a similar rerun, right? But of course, there's still a long journey for Phantom6 and RSG. But before that, for those of you guys who don't know how the format functions for WCS, here's the format video.
Welcome to Wild Rift Esports Season 1, where teams from regions all around the world compete to qualify into the first ever Wild Rift Icons Global Championship. For the teams in the MYSG region, their journey begins today in the Wild Rift Champions C MYSG 2022. Here, 8 teams in the regular season will be competing against each other in a double round-robin best-of-3 format to determine the top 6 teams who will earn their spot in the WCS MYSG 2022 playoffs. From there, the teams will be placed in a double elimination bracket with a bye round given to the first and second seed. Here, only one team will qualify and earn the rights to compete in the next stage, which is the Wild Rift Champions C Finals. The regions involved in the WCS Finals are MYSG, Masters, Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia, the Philippines, and Oceania. Here, 4 of the best teams will advance to the next global stage, the Wild Rift Icons Global Championship. The Wild Rift Icons Global Championship is the pinnacle for Wild Rift Esports in 2022. This tournament features 24 teams from all the Wild Rift Esports regions, which includes Southeast Asia, Brazil, Latin America, EMEA, Korea, North America, Japan, and China. This is where we will witness the highest level of competitive Wild Rift in the world, and we wish all the teams the very best in their journey with Wild Rift Esports.
We started with 8 teams for the league and now we're down to just 3. This will be the playoff brackets. Thus far, we have seen an incredible journey for some of these teams. Phantom6 in particular making it through the upper bracket quarters, dropping to Sem 9 and making the deep run right now to end up in the spot against RSG. Considered the second alpha, other than Sem 9. But this is how it is, right? We've sent Upcar Esports back home, Team Watermelon waved goodbye, and Pathseeker also had to abruptly put a full stop on their chapter, but not for Phantom6 and RSG. They have one more lifeline, and it gets decided in one best of 7 today.
Yeah, I mean, both of them looking for their run back against Sem 9. Sem 9 knocking both of them lower into the lower bracket. So one of them, they are going to be waiting for the glory to make the rerun against Sem 9. But one of them, they have to slightly go home without that salty run back.
Yeah, and I think for Phantom6 in particular, 3 of their players are very familiar to this feeling. They have been doubted time and time again, but if they've done it once, you can bet that they have the potential to do it again, right? Haki, Nyx, Momo, last season, they had to play through the last chance qualifiers. We looked at them at that time, known as Geek Fam. We will wonder, can this team even make it past the group stage? They barely squeezed through, played the last chance qualifiers, made it to playoffs, and deep run all the way to a championship title. And this time, they have the help of Eggy and Yoshi, and we will see if they can take down RSG.
Yeah, I mean, that is no short task. RSG playing incredibly, are getting second in the group stages, and I'm looking forward to see this game because Phantom6 is on an incredible run so far. 3-1 yesterday against Upcar. Of course, RSG, as we said, one of the second alpha dogs in the team, so I'm really looking forward to see how this game rolls out.
Yeah, and Phantom6 have completed 2 reverse sweep, right? One against Upcar Esports and one against Pathseeker in respectively the upper bracket quarters and then the lower bracket, the first lower bracket round. And yesterday was kind of the 1-2 series where they didn't have to go through the gruesome journey of making a comeback. They just won it out in a super convincing manner. Barring Game 3, where Kazuo did step up on the side of Upcar Esports, they did come in with kind of a switcheroo, right? We didn't see Zizune, but at the end of the day, Phantom6 were able to prevail. And one thing we saw from Phantom6 and RSG is that these 2 teams can play the war of attrition.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the thing is, both the styles, if I look at a neutral perspective, I would say that RSG play a better Phantom6 kind of game, I mean, that's just personally how I see it. But talking about RSG, let's take a look at their lineup.
If you guys don't know who RSG is right now, you better remember that name because they started off as LF Orc, but now they are in the warm embrace of RSG. Picked out right before playoffs and they came in swinging. Tipper, SSK, CWJ, Raven, and Rich. These guys need no introduction. And of course, Tipper has had the reputation of being a monstrous Baron laner. He has met his match yesterday against Sem 9's RH, but other than that, you have to always keep an eye out for this guy.
Yeah, I mean, looking away from the SSK, for me, personally one of the best junglers in the tournament so far, playing so much. His champion pool is so wide as well, so he has so much options to run to. CWJ as well, being such, not only just as someone that's very flashy, but someone that's really solid in the mid lane.
Yeah, and we'll also take a look at RSG's highlight from their last week's match against Team Watermelon, right? This is kind of the career-defining moment for SSK, where in that 4th game, he landed the Golden Leasing Dragon Rage onto all 5 members of Watermelon to secure that win. But aside from that, we've kind of categorized RSG as a team that thrives in chaos. Contrary to Sam9, that loves peace, law and order, systematic, organized. For RSG, it is all about chaos and turmoil, and they love pandemonium. They thrive in those battlefields, and they are able to always make use of whatever is happening on the map, even though you might not see due to all of the colors and explosions, but not RSG. They see everything.
Yeah, they love to fight in the thick of it. They want to have that messy team fight. They want to make you confused. If you're confused, you know, how are you gonna navigate in the fight? And they really showed that in all their games, you know, like really showing what they have. And you know, RSG looking really good. And talking about that, earlier you're talking about all those kicks, and this is the kick right here. If I'm not mistaken, this is the kick. Yeah, it is.
This is.
Oh, look at it. Oh!
This is so good.
Ooh.
Oh, that is going to give Watermelon a concussion, you know, that night. They wake up the next day, they see a Lee Sin pick in the pub games, and they're like, oh, God, please, not again. But of course, we did see that same scenario when they went up against Upcar Esports. They were able to win that game, but you know, not able to close out the series. But that's the RSG that we're looking at, right? And you mentioned early on, Phantom6 is a team that is kind of a RSG but with lower specs. But I would say Phantom6 is also a very orderly team. We see their macro play against teams like Upcar, Pathseeker, and even Team Watermelon to a certain extent. They always love to play those organized macro rotations.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, you know, I didn't mean no disrespect to Phantom6,
yeah,
but
course.
Right now they're playing on overclock, you know, lower specs, but they're overclocking right now to the maximum. They're playing so well. Like we said, what a run, you know, of course they lost to Sam9, dropping the low bracket, but so far they've been looking great and be going better and better after every series. Yeah,
kind of feels like Hunger Games, right? Where Sam9 are at the top of the hierarchy, they knock everyone down, and they were like, all right, we throw you into the Colosseum, fight it up so that you can get your rights to face us off tomorrow in the Grand Finals. But speaking about Phantom6, let's take a look at their roster. So yesterday I tried to dig some info out of Phantom6. You know, we got to talk to Eggy after that triumphant win over Upcar, and I asked him, do you guys have anything left up in your sleeve? They wanted to face Sam9 today. They think RSG was better, but Sam9 proved them wrong with a 3-0 win. And Eggy, he's a bit secretive. He's not letting us in on anything, and that means that there are something that Phantom6 is still keeping. Now joining him will be Yoshi, Haki, Momo, and Nyx, and of course 3 of them have been in the position before. This is one of the storylines that has been driven since playoffs, and finally they get a second chance to make that run again. Yeah, I mean, I'm loving all these games, but let's take a quick look at yesterday's highlights from Phantom6. They did take a 3-1 win against Upcar, and you know, they were looking fantastic. I said every game, barring the 3rd game, you know, they were looking better and better after every game. Yeah, and I think Phantom6 has kind of refined their macro game, right? We see such orchestrated way of taking these fights. We see Eggy stepping up to the plate. During the league stage, we look at Eggy and we think to ourselves, all right, that Olaf has to go. But now he not only plays Olaf, you look at Haki, he can play utility. Nyx, one of the most active roaming supports that we have in the league. But at the same time, they also have the superstar in the form of Yoshi, a Baron laner that can hold his own foot down, and it is not afraid to take on those fights. Yeah, I mean, look at the team fight coordination from Phantom6, you know. They are playing really well, and I'm just curious to see how they're going to match up against RSG, because Phantom6, they are known to liking the team fights. They want to go for that crazy team fight, but like we said, RSG, the same thing, but like I said, overclocking, you know, they are in a new league so far, and oh man, I'm just excited to see how this game is going to go. Yeah. And if there's one thing we've been seeing from Phantom6 yesterday and across all of their matches, honestly, is that Phantom6 will find the smallest window of opportunity to start a fight and win it, right? So this is the matchup that we have for this best of 7. It's going to be the mid lane, Haki against CWJ. And of course, the numbers, they pan towards Haki a bit more. Very active in kill participation, but CWJ, make no mistake, has always been in the thick of things, and they actually share a pretty similar champion pool, and I want to see if Haki will kind of fall back to a more utility role in the Galio and Karma, or will he play a more self-sufficient role, a more selfish role with the Ari, with those assassins, and try to bring his team to victory.
I mean, look at the stats, they're pretty evenly matched. 5.3 KDA to 5.0, damage is looking similar as well, taken a little bit more from Haki's side, so you would say the stats a little bit skewed to CWJ, but I don't think that's an indicator of how they play, because, you know, you can't just say, oh, you know, damage. CWD deals more damage, he's the better player, but I don't think that's how he goes most of the time. You know, Haki, like you said, does play a little bit more Galio. He likes to help the team a little bit more rather than just the damages, you know?
Yeah, and other than the mid lane head-to-head, we also want to take a look at what is going on in the Dragon lane, because I think that also deserves some attention. And when we talk about the Dragon lane, we have to look at both Momo and Raven. This is it, right? We look at the numbers, most of them are pretty even. Barring Raven, he does have a higher damage taken per minute, but other than that, these two are very, very reliable Dragon laners. They love to play those AD carries, your Kai'Sa, your Caitlyn, your Vayne. You put them on the table, these guys will take it.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Raven takes more damage because he likes to go in. Man likes to go in, likes to do the damage up front. He doesn't like to hide behind the tank. He says, you know, I'll do the tanking, I'll do the damage as well. So I'm not surprised seeing this damage taken per minute, honestly, from Raven. You know, it's such a big difference, almost 250 difference from Momo, but that's just how Raven plays, you know, he likes to go in.
Yeah, you like to be in the thick of things, right? Sometimes you want to take those risks, and Raven is a very proactive Dragon leader. But they're also supported by, you know, a cast of great backbone, right? The support, you have Nyx on the side of P6, you have Rich on the side of RSG. These two are very active roaming supports. We've seen how Nyx move around yesterday when they went up against Upcar, and Rich doing the same against Semnai. But of course, there is this big power vacuum when we look at the individual series. So Nyx does look pretty good on that. But coming into today, I think it will be pretty even when we look at the two support roles. Let us lay out the predictions and see what everyone else thinks about this series.
You know, we discussed it a little earlier before we went on, and we had pretty similar predictions. So looking at, yep. 4-1 RSG.
4-1 RSG. So I want to hear your thoughts on it, right? Why that one game? What do you think is going to allow Phantom6 to at least draw some blood from RSG?
Well, this is how I'm going to play it out in my mind. So RSG will go 2-0 up. Then they're going to be like, you know what? Let's try something new. Let's experiment. Then Phantom6 is going to, because Phantom6, it's a solid team, they're going to punish them really hard. That's going to be a wipe for Phantom6. They're going to wipe that game. And then RSG, okay, you know what? Let's not play around. Let's go in.
Playtime's over, right?
Yep.
Kind of what we saw. So we might see SSK or Soraka again, perhaps. That's how they lost to Watermelon. Not that it matters too much at that point of time. We're 80 seconds away from the drafting phase. Which champion do you think we should keep our eye on?
Well, I would think that maybe we're going to see more to the Dragon lane. I'm not sure who really Raven wants to play, because every time he plays something, it's something really, really unique and really, really impactful in the game.
Yeah, and we actually saw him play champions like Caitlyn yesterday. He did have a Kai'Sa. So Raven is a player that loves to go for very lane-dominant champions, right? He wants to have a very safe start so that Rich can walk around the map. Kind of like what we see from Momo. In fact, I would say that the Dragon laners for both teams are kind of carbon copy of each other, just from different countries. But in this case, RSG, they will have that first pick. And I want to put some attention onto Tipper and Yoshi, because Veki said yesterday during an interview, if Phantom6 wants a chance to take down RSG, Yoshi has to step up his game and take down Tipper. I
mean, he did step up yesterday. He played a really, really good Fiora game yesterday. And, you know, given the chance, he will be able to shine, but set really taken away. I was just about to mention Yoshi's set, but it is taken away straight away, first ban from RSG.
Yeah, a lot of priority on that set, and we see the Lee Sin from P6, absolute respect given to SSK. Not after the stun that he pulled up against Watermelon, you don't want to see the blind mark on the side of RSG. But we also saw a lot of Lulu ban coming out, right? Regardless of which team is playing, Lulu has been that enchanted support that is a must pick. But RSG, they will take out their Rakan, and P6 go for the Gragas.
Yeah, I mean, look at the bans are pretty standard, honestly, coming in from both sides. So there's no really targeted bans coming in from both teams. RSG, you know, like you said, having that first pick is a big advantage. Fiora, like I said, Yoshi's Fiora was a big menace yesterday. They want to take it away, don't want to give any chance to Yoshi at all. So Phantom6 having the last ban, I mean, who do you think is going to be the ban?
I feel like we will be looking at the Tipper ban, right? So you ban a Camille, you not only disable champion that Tipper can take, you also disable that Camille Flex into the jungle for SSK. Thankfully, Yuumi is perma-ban, right? I don't want red side to just invest one ban onto Yuumi. I feel like it's a big handicap if you're on red side. But Lulu finally makes it through. And that's a good thing, right? RSG picks it up immediately and P6 gets the karma.
Yeah, no, both enchanters really, really strong in this patch, honestly. And like you said, you was just speaking about the Lulu and Karma, and they just go through. And Olaf, you know, with this movement speed buff coming from Karma as well, Olaf will be a problem in these team fights.
Yeah, and both junglers actually have a shared champion pool. The Olaf, SSK have shown that yesterday. Eggy also loves this champion. But if we want to talk about someone that can man fight in Olaf, of course you go for the Jax. Counter-strike against all of these all attacks from that Viking. And it also fits SSK playstyle. You want to skill towards the late game, you want a hyper carry jungler, guess what? The Grandmaster at Arms.
Yeah, I mean, really good pick. And Ziggs coming in as well, just a little bit of poke. I mean, it is kind of interesting as well because, you know, when you fight Olaf, you're always worried about Ragnarok. He running straight at you, and especially with Karma Shield as well, gonna run super fast. So Ziggs, you know, just gonna poke a little bit HP coming off. And Shen from Phantom6.
Yep, both Karma and Shen, the Ionians, being picked up by P6. That means P6 are ready to funnel every single resources into this Olaf, or maybe towards Momo, right? We still haven't seen this champion just yet. And speaking of Momo's champion, I think in the second phase, we're looking at that support ban. You want to take out what Rich is comfortable with. Well, yeah, and that's going to be the Thresh. And it's pretty surprising, right? You would think that, okay, I see that Lulu, the support is going to be locked in for Rich, but not P6. This Lulu can still go to CWJ.
Yeah, I think it's kind of those flex picks where you see, normally you would say, oh, you know, Lulu, let's just ban mid lanes, but like you said, CJJ could go for the Lulu in the mid lane, and Riven is banned out as well, so Lucian as well, so they're a little targeting for the bottom lane for both sides.
Yeah, one of the Tipper classics. If you give Tipper Riven, that's it. You need 4 guys to take him down, and that's too much resources for P6. But there are still a couple of Dragon Laners online, right? Momo's favorite, Kaisa, is still available. You can go for the Varus if you want a more self-sufficient Dragon Laner that has poke and crowd control. But if you want a bit of mobility to get away from the Jax, the Ezreal is one to go.
Yeah, it's an interesting pick. You know, honestly, I would have thought something like a Varus because you already have the Olaf and the Shen, of course, to help you peel. And Varus will deal so much damage. Of course, you want to, maybe they try to match the poke coming from the Ziggs from CWJ. So maybe that's why the Ezreal was picked up. But it is interesting. And ooh, Renekton.
Now we get a Tipper Renekton. And even when we talk about the Ziggs, it can still go to the Dragon Lane, right? Raven can easily play the Ziggs, and you put CWJ on that Lulu. This is where we see where RSG wants to pivot towards with this last pick. Is it going to be a support though? There are still a couple up on the table. We've seen Rich play the Alistar. The Braum is still kind of a viable option, and it's going to be the Vayne. So we get a CWJ Ziggs, and it's going to be a Vayne Lulu. A curveball thrown at the very end.
Yeah, I think I didn't really expect this, a Vayne. I was thinking maybe a Varus or a Kaisa coming in, but Vayne. Thinking about it, you know, you have Lulu to back up the Vayne, a lot of damage coming in, you just have to avoid the taunts coming from Shen, but even at the same time, you have so much support coming from the Lulu and Orianna to round out the drop, so I'm liking, you know, a lot of engage coming from Phantom6. They have the Olaf, you know, to run in, they have the ball onto the Olaf, you know, so much catastrophe can happen.
Yeah, it's kind of the same draft, or close to the same draft that we saw from Sem9 yesterday, where instead of an Astro, they have a Varus, right? You get this ball delivery system, you FedEx delivery straight into the enemy team. Olaf can do that, Shen can do it, Karma can give you that boost, and of course Ezreal is self-sufficient in the lane. But on the side of RSG, they have 2 hyper carries that they can rely on. If SSK falls behind, you have Raven on the Vayne.
Yeah, I mean, you can see that they have very different ideas for this draft, you know. For P6, they want to look for that big team fight. They want to go in, they want to get Olaf, Ragnarok running in, of course setting it all together with Ezreal, of course dealing a lot of damage. He's, like you said, self-efficient in lane. You don't really have to put too much resources into him. He has the escape as well. Jumping over to RSG though, they have very, very strong scaling. Late game is going to be a big priority for them. SSK, like you said, on the Jax, going to be scaling up so well. Ravens, Vayne, I didn't say anything.
Yeah, Vayne itself, you don't need to say much, right? We've seen how Vayne can do, even though she did receive a bit of a punch in the gut with those numbers, but at the end of the day, Raven, well, Vayne herself is still a formidable force in the late game. But I want to kind of grab your attention a bit. Let's talk about the Baron lane. Yoshi and Tipper, Renekton into Shen. Matchup that we don't see often, especially for Renekton, who did get a bit of increment in that base health per level, but the healing from Cosmic did went down. How do you think this is going to pan out?
if I were to imagine both players were evenly matched, I would say I would give the tilt towards Shen.
Right.
But I think he has more utility in the overall game, and he has more than enough tools to win the lane.
Yeah, we are looking at the global presence as well, right? That's what pieces can bring to the table. Do you feel like this is a perfect summary of what these two teams are in terms of personality? One that loves chaos and having those hyper carries, and you have P6 on the other hand, drafting a team fight comp. They just want to fight together and just snowball it to victory.
Honestly, a little bit, because if you look at RSG, they're playing for the lanes, honestly,
Right.
You know the whole old saying, win lane, win game, and that's kind of what they're looking for here. And at the same time, Nyx on that Karma will be instrumental because he will be the one that's dictating the pace of the game, in my opinion. You have to play around your shield with your team, with Olaf, with Shen, Yoshi here. He has to play around with his ultimate as well when he gets it.
Yeah.
It's time to look for fights.
And now the big question is, how can SSK function in these fights? Because we're not only looking at just his counterpart jungler, which is Eggy on the Olaf, we're also looking at huge AoEs that pieces can deliver in a fight, right? Jax wants to be in the thick of things. Tipper Renekton wants to be in the thick of things. But you have the Karma out, you have the Shockwave, you have the Shen taunt. How is RSG going to facilitate those factors?
Well, I think for Tipper this game, he has to play a little bit more a flanking style. He can't go together with SSK. I think maybe SSK is the one that flanks, because you can't run together, both of you. Because, again, like you said, they have so much Shen. They have Taunt, they have Orianna, Shockwave, Karma can just speed everyone away. So you gotta have multiple angles of attack. You can't just run straight at them,
So we're looking like a guerrilla warfare.
Yes.
Like you have to have that execution level is a bit high on the side of RSG. But for P6, can we both agree that the ease of execution favors them a bit more?
Yeah, it's really easy to run in. Like Olaf presses Ragnarok, you run in and you start the fight.
And we'll see how P6 starts up. Game number 1 is them against RSG, the best of 7 lower bracket finals. Let's head into the match. Alright, one best of 7 to separate a grand finals rematch against Semnai and elimination. The third place, not really too bad. You're the third best team in the region, but why settle for third when you can go further? And it starts with this game. We have set up a lot of those baselines to look at for game number 1, but if you have to kind of keep your eyes tunnel on one particular member, who do you think that's going to be?
Honestly, I think it's Tipper, If he's able to win that lane convincingly against, like I said, a skewed matchup to Shen, he's going to make a big difference because he's going to be so strong. He's going to be really, really strong. And now already bullying Yoshi early on with the early level 2. Now they both get level 2 taunt. Like I said, it does favor Yoshi early on. One more hit. First blood.
Perfectly done. Yoshi takes Ignite, has grasp on the Undying, and you call for first blood, Yoshi gets it, and that's the start that P6 wants to look for, right? You want Yoshi to be able to not really beat Tipper, but keep him on leash. Don't let Tipper run rampant. And of course, Yoshi does that. Now he's going to recall, come back with a Barmy Cinder. We are off to a good start for Phantom6.
Yeah, great start. I mean, the Barmy Cinder is going to help immensely, and Eggy here is going to help clear out the lane really quickly. Like, this lane, honestly, in mid lane as well, Haki and Citeri, it should be a very even matchup. Both of them will be just clearing the waves, and back at it at the top lane for Yoshi.
Yeah, I think Yoshi is going to be really happy with this arrangement, right? That wave is going to crash, or Yoshi gets free farm. Tipper forced to play under this tower, not really what he wants, especially when he doesn't have the flash. So I'm waiting to see if Eggy will show up to provide some assistance, and at this current time, the junglers are going to get the Scuttle Crabs. Eggy handles the bot side, whereas SSK will handle that top side. But for P6, it's all about getting those solo lanes out in a safe manner. But one thing good for RSG is that Raven, like you said, likes to play up front, has richer support on that Lulu. He's trying to consistently pressure Momo.
Yeah, and looking at all the other lanes, Yoshi is getting a lot of attention coming from SSK as well. So I think he's honestly really refined if he doesn't die here at least. So he smartly backs off. He says, it's not worth the risk trying to die. I do have flash, but no, you're not. But look at the bottom lane as well. A lot of damage from Raven.
Raven gets rooted by the Karma. Rich is going to turn right back. They will have to use that exhaust, and Momo is just going to arcane shift in, takes this challenge on. Rich dropping low, Nyx follows up. Rich forced to flash as that Dragon Lane scuffle ends up with all 4 of them crippled.
Yeah, and 3 summoners burned on the side of RSG, only 2 burned from Nyx and Momo, so that's going to be one flash up for Phantom6. So overall, I would say a decent win as well. They do get to reset the lane. Raven had to stay a little longer to clear it off. So that's a good fight coming from Phantom6. You know, all the signs are going really well from Phantom6 this early game.
Yeah, and just a minor lead, and thanks to Yoshi, who is going to come back after the second reset. Early on got pushed away, but he now has that Bramble Vest, so that is going to kind of affect Tipper in the long run. But we are 50 seconds away from those objectives spawning, and that is going to be, you know, where we see Phantom6 kind of show up with those teamfight capabilities. Can they secure those objectives against RSG, especially when you have CWJ on the Ziggs? You don't want RSG to get those objectives, especially the Rift Herald.
Yeah, and you know, looking at the lane setup right now, you see already the Bramble West coming in from the Shen. He's going to be so difficult to deal with. Tipper is going to have a hard time this lane, especially SSK. He has to maybe put some attention in this lane, you know, or else Yoshi's going to run away with it. And he obviously is not building damage. He has to build the tank for the team, but he still has so much damage from an empowered Q when he hits another champion, so gotta be careful. 10 seconds still, both Rift Herald and Dragon Spawn, so you have to wait and see how Phantom6 deal with this. I think they're a little stronger right now. They do swap lane, so Momo is going to the top lane, and Tipper has to burn the flash.
Yeah, has to get away. And that means that Phantom6 now gets to secure the Rift Herald, right? Eggy is going to start it off, Momo and Ace come in to support, and I don't think Tipper wants to show up. He will get information, but that's pretty much it. RSG will go for a swap of objective. Phantom6 should be happy with this arrangement, getting that Rift Herald away from RSG and giving them a window to do so. But top lane, Tipper forced right back. Eggy will show up. P6 have the intention to push this lane down.
Yeah, and you can see Rich and CWJ trying to reach us out, but Rift Herald has spawned already. This will be ultimate coming in. You have to be careful. Rift Herald dropping down. Tipper is really low as well. The charge from Shelly will come in. There'll be so much damage. That should be the third Tipper.
Yeah, true shot barrage. Make sure that Tipper doesn't come close to them. You can zone it up, send him back home. And Phantom6 already, you know, having that macro arrangement. In fact, they are one step ahead of RSG. Is this what we were expecting to see coming into this game?
Honestly, no. I would think that RSG would have the advantage early on, but Yoshi really put on the pressure with that first blood, and that just really threw a wrench in the works for RSG. You know, they had to make sure, okay, Tipper, you can't fall that behind against the Shen. Of course, he does have the goal advantage, but that doesn't matter because they swapped the lane into Momo. Momo now has the goal advantage against Raven, and we're really happy with that.
And Tipper, in a situation that he might not be familiar as he want to, losing a lane. That's something that Tipper doesn't want to doesn't want to hear for himself. But in this case, Yoshi is really stepping up to the plate. I mean, 7-9 watching this, they will be very happy with how Phantom6 has been performing so far. But we still have the late game insurance for RSG, right? You have SSK on the Jax, you have Raven on the Vayne, and speaking about that, Eggy is going to show up bot side, but thankfully there is vision for RSG, so they know that Eggy is here, but he's just going to pop the Ragnarok, run straight at Raven, gets exhausted, the Karma out goes wide, but Raven still goes down. They go for 1-for-1 trade. Yoshi joins the fight with Stand United, gets a good taunt, Shockwave onto SSK. They finish off the Jax, 2 for Phantom6, and it feels like they might go for more because Haki is not done just yet, and he will lock down Rich, take him out, CWJ forced the flash, and Haki will finally pull the reins on himself.
Like we said, the Yoshi ultimate, the Shen ultimate, so important. That basically kept Eggy just alive just in time for him to reach and then get the kill, the trade kill onto Raven. That trades them out. They get the tower, of course, in mid lane. Tipper is trying to get the mid lane turret. He will be stopped here by Yoshi, so low, but he does not get it. But that is the difference between the Shen and the Rector. And at this situation, you need the Rector to win the 1v1, and Yoshi just walks up to him and says, okay, man, sure.
Yeah, this is why I love Sunfire Aegis on Shen compared to first item Divine Sundra. I think it gives you everything that you want, but more, right? Gives you tankiness, gives you damage. Look at Renekton, half health from one rotation. And with that fight, with that team fight win for P6, they have secured another tier 1 turret, and that is good if you're up against the Ziggs. Now, wait for the next Rift Herald, try to break mid and take control of the map.
Yeah, and just a lesson to everyone that might be playing WoW Rift today. You see what item Momo bought. He bought Executioner's Blade, and with the healing coming in from Tipper, and of course the passive healing that will be coming from Rich later, it's going to be really important to have the Executioner's Blade early. And okay, CWJ.
Just instinct, you know.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, I see a low turret. Let me just.
Yep.
Done. This is why you can't give them the Rift Herald.
Yeah, it's scary to see RSG do that. So it was smart from Phantom6 actually to swap lanes to go for the Rift Herald.
But this is where we see things starting to accelerate slightly for Phantom6, right? A 2,000 goal advantage might not seem too much, but for RSG, they are a bit comfortable playing that long game. And P6 feels like they are also content with just waiting, biding their time, getting that farm up, waiting for the objectives. But do you think that this window is kind of the breathing space that RSG have been looking for?
I would say yes, in a certain way where they'll be happy just conceding a 2,000 goal lead. But if they were to drop any more, they would be in big trouble. So, I mean, I have a question for you. Do you think Phantom6 would be happy with swapping objectives and trading objectives?
I feel like it will not be great if they lose Yoshi, and that is going to be exactly what RSG needs to do. 3-man rotates top, kill the Shen off, and get control of the Rift Herald. But P6, they've already finished off the Ocean Drake. I think they can't beeline there. SSK, he has to make this quick though, but they have vision. Phantom6 know that they can reach there in time, and SSK forced away from the objective. Yoshi is responding soon, so he will have to stand united to join this fight. RSG forced to surrender the Rift Herald. No! CWJ gives this life for it. You cannot let P6 take it, and RSG will secure that steal.
Okay, I did expect to do damage. I maybe Eggy missed his smite. I'm not sure what happened there, but great steal from CWJ, I would say. He does get the Rift Herald, so this is the person that's going to siege a lot, but there's going to be so much TP coming in from the back Tipper as well.
Oh, Tipper looking for a fight. Haki tries to flash away, stand united channel, he gets knocked into the wall by a Condemn. Can he get a shockwave? Oh, no, doesn't finish channeling before he dies. And RSG secures a good kill. P6, do they want to continue this fight though? Because RSG are already backing off. Nyx is thinking about leading the charge, but as RSG dips into the shadow, P6 will call it off.
That was a great call coming from RSG. Get the TP in, like we have a ward at the back. Let's go into the fight. Eggy now looking for a little bit fight. They know that they're a little low. CWJ is right behind. Ragnarok pops here. Raven tries to go in a little bit more.
Here comes Eggy. Wants the kill. True Shot Barrage cuts through 4 of them, but Eggy forced to flash to safety. All they want to do is to get that mid-tier 1, but that is where Tipper comes in. Mega Inferno Bomb for the explosion onto Eggy. RSG stops the siege.
This is a great game state for RSG. Even in goal, even in turrets, even in dragons, everything. They have this Rift Herald still in the pocket of CWJ, so they're going to be really happy with this. This isn't the time where they pop off. You need to give them a little bit, like 2-3 more minutes, and that's when they're going to be much stronger. But at this point where goal is even, you got to be really happy for RSG.
Yeah, and at the same time, if that Rift Herald was in P6 hand, then mid-tier 1 would have went down. But well, because CWJ stole it, they stopped the siege, they got a couple of kills, and they were able to reset the game state. The stars are aligning for RSG. They get more breathing room than they should have gotten for themselves, but they earned it, right? They wrestled it from the jaws of P6, and now we look at RSG taking a minor goal lead. But for P6, what's the next move for them?
P6 have to look for the fight. Even though goal is even, they still are stronger in this time of the game. If they wait a little bit longer, they're going to get outscaled by the Jax and the Rain, so they have to look for the fight. Yoshi has to be the one that goes in. Eggy hovering around Tipper as well. He sees that there is no fight unless Tipper walks a little too forward. Yoshi will not land anything, so they'll just back off. But Phantom6, they really have to push. They need to put the pedal to the metal. They need to get a fight going.
They're thinking about it. Tipper bites the bait. They've laid out the breadcrumbs. They want to bait this crocodile in. I don't think Tipper has any durability for this. They want to give it over to Yoshi. Eggy actually doesn't go for a chase. Tipper still goes down. But while all of that was happening, RSG, they summon Shelly down mid. Now this is the important siege. This charge will definitely go through. RSG won't be able to take the turret, but they were able to push back P6. And while all of that was transpiring mid, Raven has already shoved the wave in top as RSG gains control of the map.
I just want to jump back to the bottom fight. I don't know why they were trying to give the kill to Yoshi. Yoshi had to burn flash. Maybe Eggy just missed his axe completely. They thought he was going to get it. Then he had to burn the flash in fear that Tipper might get away. So that's going to be one less summoner already on Yoshi's side. Needlessly burnt. Tipper is going to get his flash soon, so he will have that mobility and that engage tool if he needs it. And right now, RSG, even though they're behind about 500 gold, it's not a big deal. They got the charge in the mid. They open up the map just a little bit more, and they have more freedom in the jungle.
Yeah. And at the same time, look at what Tipper has. Hullbreaker. Tipper wants to play that side lane. And it's his domain, right? You send him off to do his job. He's going to do a good job. Check back on him every 5 to 10 minutes, and Tipper will still be safe and sound.
Yeah. Look at the vision as well. RSG know where Nyx and Momo are. The vision is so instrumental. Eggy does not spot it out with the Scar's Boom. SSK does take a little damage though. Has to be a little bit careful. And look at the dragon spawning. 30 seconds to Baron as well. So Phantom6 has to look for this fight. They have to look for a big team fight.
CWJ is starting to hurt Rabadon
Oh.
and Ludens. A condemn onto Haki, send him into the wall. They get the Transcendence Embrace, doesn't hit onto Raven. Iggy throws his life for this, but that's not the fight. SSK gets a double counter strike, knock them out with the Wild Growth, and take them down like a bowling pin. RSG gives Raven a triple kill, and that's for the Dragon Pit. Meanwhile, Yoshi takes on Tipper, but it seems like Tipper has been awoken. The inner beast will win the fight against Yoshi. P6 gets a deficit.
4,000 goal lead, and with this team comp that RSG have, this will feel like a 10,000 goal lead. The amount of damage, the amount of scaling they have. Mid lane inhibitor turret is gone. Now they're looking for the Baron as well. With Ravens, it's gonna melt like butter. Oh my goodness, what a turnaround for RSG.
It all started with a Rift Arrow steal, and that has been converted into a Baron. A Baron is one thing. Baron on 2 hyper carries is another thing. Baron on 2 hyper carries with a Ziggs, that's triple threat.
Don't forget Tipper Will having a look at that. This all started the condemn hitting on the wall. Haki trying to get away, and look at. I just want to pay attention to Haki's shockwave. He completely misses it. Oh.
Yeah, and that's kind of the end, right? P6 caught out of position. They try to tangle around the Dragon Pit, but that choke point is where RSG wants them to be. And now P6 have to stall this out. They have Eggy playing guard duty, making sure that if anyone shows up, they could gang up on him. And of course, who is the better? No one's the better candidate to play the side lane other than Tipper. But can they kill Tipper though? I think they found vision of him. But if they want to take down Tipper, they have to make it quick because the rest of RSG are crashing the wave down bot.
I'm surprised that RSG did not go for the Dragon. They're looking to maybe maximize the Baron to just get pushed as much. And next is going to be in trouble. Tipper!
Just a solo kill onto the Karma. Tipper doesn't give two crabs about what Nyx is. And he even forced out a flash. So now with Nyx out of the picture, 30 seconds without the Karma utility. Tipper shoving the top in, has the Baron buff, has the Hullbreaker, and we see the Mega Inferno Bomb. Last ditch attempt from P6, but SSK just dives underneath the inhibitor turret, goes golden, doesn't matter, burns out Haki, leaps away, survives that dive, and RSG have secured themselves an insurmountable lead. P6 cannot hold on, their fuel tank has run dry, and their best efforts will not suffice. RSG takes first blood in this best of 7.
What a game coming in from the side of RSG. They had a rocky start, didn't have the best of starts, but like you said, the whole Rift Herald steal came in. The game just whoop.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a lesson of why objectives matter so much. If that mid-tier 1 went down early on because of the Rift Pharaoh, we would have seen a completely different story. Pieces would have got control of the map, and RSG would have to play from behind and buy time for SSK and Raven. But that's not the case. CWJ, my personal hero for Game 1.
Yeah, I mean, them taking the mid lane turret with the Rift Herald just opened up the jungle. So much space was bought, a lot of vision was put in by RSG, and then Phantom6 just was lacking that department. The mid lane was still up, so they couldn't safely go into the jungle, couldn't put the vision in. RSG had the vision set up. So every fight, it was already in favor of RSG at that point.
Yeah, and we saw how P6 wants to play a systematic team fight, right? They want to set up all the forces before they press that big red button. But for RSG, they don't like order, right? You set up one pin, they knock it down, they bend your other pin. It's very hard for P6 to fight in that environment. And with RSG finding the momentum, it completely, nullifies whatever Tipper has suffered early on. It even felt like Tipper didn't even lose the lane. That first blood, out the window. RSG did not care, came back swinging, and I think this win is a testament of how good RSG is.
Yeah, I mean, they know, okay, Tipper, you're not gonna win your lane. That doesn't mean you're gonna lose it. So let's just stay even in the lane, just clear your waves. Don't make any rash decisions or Shen's gonna punish you, and that's just what they did on RSG side.
Absolutely, and with that, RSG have taken game number 1, but we still have a lot more to talk about what has happened. We have to go for a short break first though, so do not go anywhere. We will be right back.
Let's go, dig it. Get your hands up. Let's go, dig it. Get your hands up. Let's go, dig it. Get your hands up.
Here we go now. Here we go now.
The boys in blue started off this series with a bang. It started with one Rift Herald steal and it escalated to a victory. Welcome back to play day for playoffs number 5. I messed that intro up. For WCS MYSG, I'm Muskie alongside Lionel. We have witnessed an incredible game from RSG.
Yeah, like you said, just the Rift Herald still changed the whole dynamic of the game. They were looking so well. Then they just had to lose the Herald. They just had to lose it.
Yeah, that one thing, right? So everything fell into place, and then you know that you play Jenga, right? And that one thing gets pulled out. That's how the cookie crumbles for Phantom6. But it's just the start of the day. That we have still a potential of 6 more games if we go the distance. So Phantom6, do not fret. There is still some time for that. But of course, we still have to kind of talk more about what happened in Game 1 other than that pivotal Rift Herald steal. What else do you think went well for RSG?
I mean, honestly, so much went well, you know. When Yoshi got that first buy, I thought, okay, it's over. Tipper is not going to be able to play this lane. Shenzi is going to bully him. But Yoshi just went for that play. And then really, he didn't really push his advantage, you know. Didn't really go for the fight.
Yeah, and I think that also kind of factored into how RSG kept that reins on the game. But we do have something for you guys. It is my favorite segment of every broadcast. It is the live trivia. Throughout this entire league, we have asked you guys a plethora of questions. But the one for today is, which of these human champions was raised by a beast? Is it A, Wukong, B, Nunu, C, Shyvana, or D, Jinx? Tell us your answer.
I think it's E. Husky.
You're correct. You're absolutely correct.
Because you are a champion in my heart.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You flattered me too much. It's way too early for that, but thank you. Yes, so the answer is E. Scrap that. But yes, do let us know your answers in the comments below. We will come back with the actual answer after this game. For now, you know, you can go on Google, search out the lore. Honestly, this is one of the questions that I don't know the exact answer to, which is one thing that I love. You know, we started off with a very basic trivia in week 1. How many lanes are there on Summoner's Rift? And I've been indoctrinating everyone with my perspective on this question, and I want to tell you that as well. I feel like you'll agree with me as we go into the post-game stats, but give me 30 seconds of your life. I will tell you how many lanes there are on Summoner's Rift. It depends on the state of your mind during the game. If you want to run it down, there's only one lane, which is down mid. If you're playing jungler, then only the solo lanes. If you're playing normal game, then there are 3 lanes. If jungle is a lane, there are 4 lanes. If river is a lane, there will be 5 lanes.
Okay. But shouldn't there be 2 lanes in the jungle though? There's top side and bottom side of jungle.
Yeah, but if that's the case, you will have 10 lanes.
1,
Okay.
2, 4.
We're going too far with this.
They're going to the rabbit hole.
Yeah, but then we look at the numbers, right? I mean, for this game, we have RSG and P6. The kills, they don't really tell the entire story. I think this game started off as a game of objectives, but RSG, they love the chaos. And when we saw their last team fight, Raven getting a catch onto Haki, P6 put out of position, that's what flipped the script for RSG.
Like, if you saw the goal for Tipper as well, you wouldn't think that he got first blooded. He had the most goal in the game. He was so effective in team fights, just going in, like, even though he got caught sometimes in the side lanes, it doesn't matter because he bought so much space with the team. Like we said, when they went bottom for Tipper, they went mid lane with the Rift Herald, Raven went top, pushing the lane. There's so much goal lost on the side of Phantom6 just trying to go for Tipper.
Yeah, even that, it wasn't the cleanest gang on the Tipper, right? They had to blow a flash on the Yoshi. Not really sure what the communication was, but when you go on, when you want to take someone like Tipper down, you have to make sure that he stays down. You cannot just, give him throw a few punches and be like, yeah, he's not gonna climb back up. No, Tipper always climbs back up. You gotta send him to the gray screen. That's what we want to look at. But going into game 2, what can we expect from these two teams? Because P6 now find themselves on first pick.
It's kind of hard because you can't say that RSG had one member playing well. Everyone played well, but here comes the Lee Sin respect ban coming in.
Yeah, P6 just... I think this Lee Sin will be a perma ban
for
the entire series, right? Unless we go to Game 7, then maybe P6 will make some adjustment. For RSG, same thing. No Sat, don't give it to Yoshi. Sat, very flexible champion, but primarily for P6, it was Yoshi who has always been proficient on this champion. The Gragas comes up from P6, similar bans to Game 1, but do you think we will finally see the Lulu ban coming out from RSG? Or do you think that the Lulu Karma aren't the biggest factors?
I think it's going to be similar bans, honestly, because that game was not a draft diff. It was a Rift Herald stolen diff. that was the big difference, honestly. That just swing the moment so much. So we might actually see a very similar draft. P6, if they ban the Camille, okay, it's the same ban so far from last game.
Yeah, so Camille gets taken out, RSG now. Who are we looking at, right? The Lulu finally gets banned out. Don't want to give P6 that first pick, but P6 have first picked the Karma a lot of times. I wonder if P6 will want to go for the Karma. I feel like there are a couple more champions they could prioritize, the Fiora being one of them, and P6 will lock it in.
Yeah, so RSG banned Fiora last time, so now not banning it, banning the Lulu instead. So P6 says, okay, we'll give most likely the Fiora to Yoshi, and RSG will pick up Karma themselves.
Kind of like a pick a poison, right? You just see what P6 wants to go for, and this time RSG, they want to show P6 how it's done. Karma, Olaf.
It's a great combo, honestly. You just put the shield on the Olaf, he runs in like a madman with no care in the world, and he gets it done. But what is the answer from P6? I'm thinking maybe... Okay, Jarvan. Jarvan has been the natural counter to Olaf because you just put in the Cataclysm. Run, boy. You can't run through walls.
Yeah, you want to go to my team? Or guess what? Here, let me build a wall for you. Yeah, you're fighting me right now. Look at me. I'm your enemy. But no, Jarvan also got a slight buff, the Martian standard. You hit faster with the attack speed. Not the biggest buff in the world, but it does help Jarvan when he wants to clear those camps. And now we see the Nami picked up kind of as a replacement. No Lulu, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, Nami so far has been really, really good this tournament. You have, of course, you do... Alistar. That, for me, it's an interesting pick. I think it might be a direct response to Jarvan. I might be wrong, but... I don't know. I've been thrown a curveball here. My brain is like short wiring. Why the Alistar?
Yeah, why the Alistar indeed? I think we can come back to this in a bit because I think that Rich has been playing Alistar very often. This is a comfort pick that RSG can always give Rich, give him an active support. I think at the same time it's also because P6 picked the Nami, right? So you're looking at a support that on P6 side can't be as proactive as at Alistar. So perhaps Rich wants to take advantage of that. We see the Momo champions getting banned out. No Ezreal, no Vayne, the Varus from P6 side. The Kaisa is still on the table. Raven has played the Caitlyn before. So we'll see what P6 wants to go for. They give respect to Tipper, but guess what? Riven is on the table.
Yep, Riven's on the table. You do have Caitlyn, like you said, for Ravens. I mean, Kaisa is open, so maybe Momo's going to pick Kaisa here. He's going to be comfort pit, but I do think they're going to lock in the Riven early on for Raven. Yep. I mean, sorry, for Tipper.
Yeah. If you leave the Riven open, you better believe that RSG will pick it up for Tipper, right? Tipper, he probably only, like his screen, the only thing that's selected is the Riven. Unless he sees the ban icon, it's Riven all the way. So we get a skill check. Riven into Fiora, Yoshi, Tipper, that's going to be the highlight. But for P6, they get the comfort pick for Momo. It is his Kaisa, one of the picks that gave him the championship title last year. Let's see if this is going to be good against RSG.
Yeah, and of course, final pick for Phantom6. They do need to probably fill up the mid lane. Oh, okay, so mid lane Fiora.
No, mid lane Garen.
Oh, yeah,
Haki has played a mid lane Garen.
Yeah. I remember. I remember.
Yeah,
I
really.
remember the memes. I remember the memes.
Yeah, gone are the days where Garen is unkillable. Thank goodness right now you can still take down Garen. Back then, Garen, don't even think about taking down Garen. Throw all your spells at him, he comes back 10 seconds later with full health, and you're just like, why did they even do that? You know, like but thankfully right now Garen is a bit more manageable. But we get the Ziggs once more. This is going to be a Riven Ziggs, I think. Yeah, it could be a Riven Ziggs. CWJ Ziggs, what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think it's a CWJ Ziggs.
Wait, Raven. Karma mid. So CWJ Karma, Raven Ziggs. I think that makes the most sense.
Interesting. You know, we have to wait for the final picks to come in. It's always kind of interesting to see how these teams play around. This comp, it's a little weird, I would say, from the side of RSG. I still don't know where Alistar fits in all this. Maybe they want that hard engage in the lane against Nami because she doesn't really have great disengage, other than the ultimate, of course. Maybe looking for early advantages. Maybe that's why they're going to put the Riven bottom with Alistar for the early damage. Yeah, I'm just really confused with the Alistar pick. Really, that really just threw a curveball at me.
Yeah. And that's, I think for RSG, for them, they are really comfortable with it, right? Because Raven likes to play champions that either can play safe in the lane or can just really push the tempo. And I think Ziggs is one of the perfect ones that not only gets flex, but you can also put them in the hands of either CWJ and Raven, and it does the same thing. But in this case, I think maybe the Dragon Lane, will need a lot more attention. We've seen Yoshi against Tipper. That will always be a constant throughout the series. But that Dragon Lane in Game 1 has been very active from the early stages. Do you think it will be a bit more volatile in Game 2?
Oh, that would be interesting. I think the solo lanes, especially in the mid and Baron lane, they're going to have to be extremely careful with this game because, especially for Phantom6, I feel that if you let the lead go over to RSG early on, this is going to be a bad game for you. This is not going to be fun. You're going to want to surrender at 15. Or surrender at 4, I remember you can surrender as early as 4, so there's going to be early surrender if that's going to happen. But I believe Phantom6 have the quality, and yeah, right, Raven Ziggs.
Yeah, Raven Ziggs, so we get CWJ Karma. Most likely we see the Ludens into a Ardent Sensor. This feels like a game where Raven is not really the main character, right? Look at President Tipper. He will be that superhero for RSG.
Yeah, and like we said, Karma and Olaf, that combo, it also works well with Riven in a way where you can just speed her up, she can run. Maybe Alistar as well, if you want to have a real quick start to a fight, you can engage really quickly. You do have decent disengage from Eggy and Nyx, but that's only if they have the ultimates on. Momo can kite around. But really, for me, if the solo lanes lose, which they shouldn't, on the side of P6, then they will have a bad time.
Yeah. Another skill matchup, right? Yoshi going for the skill check against Tipper, and Tipper is a player that you want to skill check me? Even if you don't want to place the skill check, I will force you. I will check your skills. I will grade you, in the first 4 minutes. But I think the trend we've been seeing from Game 1 and the draft for Game 2 is that, for P6, they want to be able to match Tipper's side lanes as much as possible, which is why Yoshi has a huge responsibility on his shoulders. But we'll see if that comes true. Game number 2 is going to happen right now. P6 takes on RSG. And P6 now in the deficit, RSG with a 1-game lead.
Yeah, and already early on, you can see always they want to push up the lane. There's going to be so many people here for the side of Phantom6 pushing up the lane. They do clear it up early, and RSG, I'm looking at the early game for them. They do have to be a little bit more careful, but at the same time, no worries so far. Haki going very deep into the jungle, putting some deep vision in.
Just to make sure that you can track SSK. That's what P6 wants to do, right? Get information on the jungler. But I think the start for P6 makes sense as well. CWJ on the Karma, not the best hero at shoving out lane, so you want to get that priority for yourself. But I don't think CWJ is going to matter too much, right? There's not much kill pressure from the side of P6 to kill a Karma early on. Not when he has a barrier as his summoner spell. So top lane is where we switch our attention to again. Tipper against Yoshi at 1 versus 1. Of course, Yoshi holding up his ground pretty well. Ignite expanded by Tipper. Yoshi still hangs onto his barrier.
Yep, so I guess summoner advantage coming in, but it's just Ignite. It does come back up really quick, so Tipper won't be too phased by that. CWJ, like you said, in the Karma, it's going to be the lane of 2 unkillables, Garen and Karma early on. Who's going to kill them? They're not going to kill each other.
Yeah. If you get killed by your counterpart in the mid lane, then we have some problem. Eggy provides some assistance, but at the end of the day, it is just a wet noodle fight. they're gonna try and shove up the wave. In this case, RSG having that advantage for themselves. So Eggy has to stay for a bit longer just to help Haki out with the endeavor. But the good thing is that P6 have secured that bot priority, so Eggy will be able to smite this Rift Scuttler. Rich does show up, and they find Eggy in a bad spot. Force the flash away, but the root is still going to connect, and Eggy will get killed off. SSK gets first blood. Haki only level 4. The Voice Seeker actually connects, but guess what? CWJ has a shield, and SSK escapes. Haki not so lucky. Raven flashes over the wall, exhaust onto Momo. Kaisai is the third to go. Rich gets a stun onto Nyx, bash him over the wall, but Nyx should be able to get out of this. Takes the honey fruit. RSG walks away with 3 kills.
What a turn coming from RSG. They saw the potential of going in. Rich walked up. They land the root onto Eggy. He had nowhere to go. Flash over the wall from both of them. They get the kill. Almost gets the return on SSK, but he walks away. Now SSK walks up to Eggy. Hey man, what's up? Thanks for the blue leash, and thank you for that.
Yeah, Yoshi has to help. It's Promasia time. Ragnarok use. And of course, SSK overextends. Now they drop the arena onto Tipper. 1 versus 3. But CWJ is here to help. Yoshi wants that kill. A repulse. Not good enough though. CWJ sucks them in, but he might have to give his life up to the side of P6. Yoshi will get a return kill.
For me, that's a question mark play on Tipper. He didn't have to go in. At best, that would be a 1-for-1 trade for RSG, but it doesn't hinder too much. I guess they do lose some gold, but it is fine in the grand scheme of things. SSK is still looking really, really good so far. Yoshi's a little strong though. He has 1 kill, 1 assist. He's 600 gold up onto Tipper. He does have a little bit more breathing space at the top lane now. And back to Ravens though, he's finished his last chapter with the blasting one. It's going to be a lot of damage. Oh, Momo gets hit. Oh, misses the bubble as well.
Yeah, that bubble could have been the start of Momo going in for the kill. But SSK, he felt some bloodlust. He could have taken the buff and run away, do a Grand Theft Auto. But SSK, he's not the guy that settles for last, right? He wants more. But RSG were able to force Momo and Nyx back, and that means this structure is going to start to sustain damage. Yoshi will show up though. A lane swap comes in from P6.
Yeah, Yoshi comes in at the right time. Raven gets to go back, so they might do the swap themselves again. They are maybe going to do the same thing. They are going to take the Herald and give the Dragon over to P6. Haki is around the area. He's going to drop a ward, probably, yep. See where he's at, but SSK is already in the area. He's spotted by a ward though, so has to be extremely careful. Yoshi actually completed his Trinity already, so he's going to be really, really strong in this fight.
Yeah, and he got that go off of the kill on the CWJ, right? Like P6 donated the kill to Yoshi, knows that he is one of the main factors. But if you are RSG, you want to make sure that you get the Rift Herald. Again, a Ziggs lineup, Rift Herald and Ziggs. Very deadly combo, but RSG, they see P6 under that ward, and now they come in. P6 started the leash, and RSG wants to finish the job that P6 could not complete. We'll see if P6 can do something about this. Redemption comes out, here comes the Cataclysm. SSK secures it with the smite, now pops the Ragnarok, gets exhaust, CWJ providing the shield, and here comes Tipper with that play of the Exile. Yoshi does proc the Grand Challenge, but he will also go down. 3 from P6 already eliminated as Tipper wants to go for more, but Haki will be able to get away.
That was a great fight coming from RSG. They get the kill. And, like I said, Eggy with the Jarvan might counter SSK. You put him in the Cataclysm, but you're stuck in there with him. And you're not strong enough to face him. He has a Black Cleaver. He's going to deal so much damage. He's going to just shred your armor as well. And when he tried to put it in, he was just stuck in. And once again, goes in. You see, SSK is stuck in there, but I'm not stuck in here with you. You're stuck in here with me, and they just deal the damage. Yoshi does get the kill eventually on SSK, but he's taken down at the back. The front line, you saw that flash from Rich, getting that 4-man pulverize as well.
Yeah, I mean, they can't even get to the front right? And Rich even hit by the Yoshi into the Cataclysm, but we get another fight at the Rift Herald pit. Eggy forced the flash away, but Tipper has already made quick work of Nyx. Haki will be the next to go. Yoshi finally joins in, but Momo steps on a landmine and completely disintegrates. RSG with 4 more kills. And they're looking for more though. Rich to come in. Yoshi out of position. Prolo Bell forward. Rich doesn't get the hit, but and maybe Yoshi can get a kill in return, but Rich, he will try to get away, and Yoshi will flash over, get the kill, proc the Grand Challenge. At least there's some return for P6, but SSK will get the Rift Herald.
I mean, good response from Yoshi, but at the same time, Rift Herald is gone. They lost the fight, and Yoshi is the only saving grace of everything so far. He is keeping up with the rest of RSG, but his team, Momo, is not keeping up with Raven. Haki is fallen so behind. He's even less gold than Rich on RSG, so he's going to be a non-factor in this one, only just finishing his Black Cleaver. And you got to feel for Haki, he can't really do anything in these fights. He goes in, he dies straight away because he's not building full tank Garen at this point, trying to deal damage. So So much peel. Rich, CWJ, Tipper with his knockups and stuns, Raven with his blast pack. So much crowd control.
And we are also looking at RSG running away with the goal lead. Close to 7 minutes, 6,000 goal advantage for P6, for RSG. Not a good spot for P6 to be in, right? This is not the game that they envision for themselves. And worst of all, Rift Arrow goes into the hand of RSG. This mid-tier 1 is going to go down.
Yep, and with the mid turrets going down, that means the jungle is open. Look at RSG already walking in like they own the place. Yoshi all alone in his bottom tower. Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Eggy.
Can Eggy help though? Nyx will show up. Gets a heal onto Yoshi, but Nyx is target number 1. Redemption not to drop down in time to get the ambush on the CWJ, but CWJ gets an ulti, roots them now. Yoshi still procs the grand challenge, and Eggy will be that meat shoot for his team. Deals as much damage as he can. Rich finds himself in the front line with the unbreakable will, but Raven gives aerial support with those bombs, and that means that P6 will not be able to pursue further. Momo steps up forward, falls right back. And of course, Raven playing on a nice edge. Now Yoshi tries to dash for some avenue. Momo secures it with the Icatian Rain, but Yoshi gets caught with the final bounce of Raven's bombs, and RSG walks away.
Momo has ultimate. He might be looking for the going in. Momo trying to go in. No, Momo, no.
A disconnect from Momo and Nyx. Nyx not there in time, and the Icatian Rain not upgraded just yet. Momo could not finish off SSK. They ended up losing the bot tier 1. Haki not in a position to fight. We see that big net with discrepancy across all rows. You know, even Yoshi, who has been having a phenomenal Baron lane into a matchup like Tipper, is suffering. Tipper once more Divine Sunder into Heartbreaker. Those side lanes are going to be in danger.
Tipper always playing that solo man at whichever side lane. So, like you said, the Heartbreaker is going to be so useful coming in. Yoshi, of course, you can't really build the Heartbreaker on the Fiora. You have to be more teamfight centered, especially at this point. But 10,000 gold, almost 10,000 gold at this point, going into the pocket of RSG. And Tipper all alone this top. Do you think he survives this?
We're about to find out. Tipper, Brave the Exile, aerial support from the Mega Inferno Bomb. CWJ shows up, Tipper still alive, and Tipper will make them all pay with blood. Yoshi rooted stun into the hands of Ravens. The riposte is good, but is it enough though? He's lunging away, but CWJ gives them a speed boost. Tipper will finish the job, and Tipper will show what Top Get really means. A rampage for this Riven. SSK will chase Haki away. Pops the Ragnarok. Haki goes for a spin, but guess who is up to the party? Raven gets a boost. Haki slowed down by the undertow, and Raven is godlike on the Ziggs.
SSK took the dragon alone, spotted Haki all alone, and now going in. Rich goes in as well, all alone. He does have the ultimate, so he doesn't even pop it. He's like, you know what? I'm chilling. I'm not worried. This is just speaking to the confidence of RSG. They just walk in, you know, it's like walking into someone's home, getting a glass of water and just walking out.
Yeah, not a problem, right? I don't need to do anything, you know. If you cannot kill the Alistar without him using his ultimate, that's a red flag. If he presses his ultimate, you're not going to kill him, but Tipper, I mean, what can I say? Survives this gank.
Yeah, using the flash perfectly as well. CWJ coming in the right time, jumps over the wall, gets the kill as well. And Yoshi tried his best. He bought a lot of time, to be fair. He did burn the flash, but this was a nice repose. Walking away, he did buy enough time, but like I said, on the map, SSK got the dragon and then walked just all the way, just walked to Haki and said, where you want to go? And back to Tipper.
Oh boy, Yoshi needs some help from Redemption. Gets a tidal wave, they lock Tipper in, but Tipper says, you are not trapped here. I'm not trapped with you, you are trapped with me. And Tipper will find 2 kills for himself. Meanwhile, the rest of P6 shows up and Momo says, I don't want to take this fight. Why am I here? What is the meaning of life? Raven is legendary, and SSK waves hello to Yoshi, gives him a emote, and just slams down the axis. The reckless swing for the 4th kill, and RSG right now should be able to get one more charge on this inhibitor turret. We're looking at a 14,000 gold advantage for RSG.
The funniest part is Raven didn't even try to land the bomb, he just flashed and then empower auto attack coming in, but Rich going in for the fight.
Oh, they didn't even execute Tipper, and that means Haki is already out. Right now, I think we're looking at RSG taking a clean game too if they want to, but RSG will play a bit longer. They finish off 2 more from the side of P6. Of course, RSG will now go for the reset. Baron not even up just yet. We are only 11 minutes in, but it felt like RSG have already pushed us to game 3.
Yeah, this is looking like an impossible road to climb. Tipper, Momo didn't even go. I think he was blocked by the brush, but if I was Momo, I wouldn't even go for Tipper at this point. He's just too scary at this point. I'm not going to go for him. And No, looking back at that fight, it was so crazy the way RSG won. I don't know if we're gonna get a replay. I wish we did because I just want to look at Raven. That was really funny. But Yoshi as well, like we said, he's been having a great game, but great is nothing in comparison to RSG at this point.
Yeah, like you were looking at one individual member from P6 compared to the whole team of RSG, and that was another chaotic fight, right? We have two fights on on separate fronts. But the problem is RSG individually are ahead compared to the P6 members. So if we split the battle lines, P6 are never going to win. And we are going to have a replay of that fight in front of the turret. This is where RSG got some extra kills.
Tipper's shield just bought him enough help to stay alive. They turn it onto Eggy. Eggy has nowhere to go. Haki, like I said, without those tag items, he melts like butter. And now jumping back to fight, Momo takes so much damage. Nyx is half HP. Rich has to go in. Nyx burns the flash.
And just like that, they've corralled P6 in their own base. Tipper gets a grand challenge issued, and suddenly Yoshi realizes that, all right, I cannot take this challenge. This is too much. This is like Elden Ring. I'm taking on a boss that I'm not geared up for.
It's like giving a challenge. It's like, hey, then you look at the guy. All right, sorry.
Have you watched the movie Kung Fu by Stephen Chow?
Yes.
It's like that scene, right? He's like, hey,
Not you.
yeah, not you. Hey kid, come out, and the kid is like built. It's like, no, not you either.
He was like going for the old lady. But if further dragons spawn here, it's gonna be. I mean, they're not even prioritizing it. They're like, yeah, no, whatever. It's just a dragon, I guess.
Yeah. Come and take it if you can, right?
Yeah.
They're dangling the treat in front of P6, and they're daring P6 to make a move. That bomb not gonna connect onto any. In fact, they know Rich is in the brush, but will P6 bite the breadcrumbs though? Because SSK is starting Baron. He's soloing Baron with CWJ, and there's nothing P6 can do about it. Well, the Redemption will spot them out, but can P6 even contest this? That bottom lane is in danger. P6, you gotta do something. Eggy will find Rich, but it's just an Alistar. They want to get to the back line. They want to get on top of Baron. They even flash for it, and they will not get it. They get nothing from RSG, but they will lose CWJ though. Tipper shows up. Eggy and Haki are both gone. Momo left alone. Flashes to safety. Yoshi shows up. Is he the hero? Can he finish off Tipper? Riposte is good, but Tipper is better. The longer and thicker blade wins out as Raven sends the bomb onto Momo. That one goes wide, but RSG have bad game 2 for sure.
It doesn't matter. RSG get the win. Phantom6 will lose out, and your flash coming in SK just to put a cherry on top, doesn't get the kill. But ladies and gentlemen, RSG go 2-0 up against Phantom6.
We are amping up our gear. Now RSG sends us to 6th gear, and PS6 couldn't keep up.
I mean, I see what you did there. 6th gear, Phantom6.
Oh yeah, thank you.
You mean that?
No.
Oh man.
But thank you.
I got you, man. I got you. Man, what a great game. That was a great game.
Yeah, and where did it all go wrong for P6? I want to hear your thoughts.
It's just the early game where the moment Haki he flashed late, got root, died. Like I said, if you lose your early solo lane early, it's gonna be a bad game, and that's just exactly what happened.
Kind of like a caster curse, right? We said, in Karma against Garen, no one should die, and Garen goes down, and then we see P6 try to go for these individual fights, trying to pull off this Cataclysm, kind of stop FSK, but CWJ on their Karma was kind of the backbone, right? The safety net for RSG. And that means RSG have gotten 2 games. They just need 2 more to get a rematch against 7-9, but the journey is far from over. We will take a short break, and we will come back to talk more about Game 2.
Yeah, show me my opponent. Top spot, I want it. My grind, I'm on it. Can't stop, keep going. Wanna know me, can't clone me. I remember feeling lonely. I remember when they told me I would never get the trophy. Show me my opponent. Top spot, I want it. My grind, I'm on it. Can't stop, keep going. Wanna know me, can't clone me. I remember feeling hungry. Now I'm coming for the trophy. Cause this is my moment. I'm a boss till I fall. I'ma answer the call. I'm a beast, I'm a dog. Hit my back against the wall. I accept every challenge. Had to battle for my balance. From a peasant to the palace. Treat the trophy like a chalice. Stayed on my grind. Great things take time. Now how I shine. You might go blind. Come along for the ride. Cause I'm headed to the top with it. Going is my only option. They can never ever stop this. Show me my opponent. Top spot, I want it. My grind, I'm on it. Can't stop, keep going. One and only, can't clone me. I remember feeling lonely. I remember when they told me I would never get the trophy. Show me my opponent. Top spot, I want it. My grind, I'm on it. Can't stop, keep going. One and only, can't clone me. I remember feeling hungry. Now I'm coming for the trophy. Cause this is my moment.
Here we go now.
And welcome back to the WCS MYSG. We just witnessed game number 2 between RSG and Phantom6. And guess what? RSG, with the help of Tipper and CWJ and Raven and SSK and Rage, basically the entire team, they took down Phantom6 and they now are in a 2-0 lead in this best of 7. I'm Husky alongside Lionel. Give me a rundown. I don't know what to say about game 2.
I mean, it was a very interesting game coming in for both teams. Like we said earlier, RSG, if they get the lanes early winning, if they win the lanes early, it's going to be quick game. And that's what happened.
Yeah, exactly. But we do have something that we want to let you guys know. Tomorrow is the grand finals, right? 7-9 are waiting there. But we need your guys' help. We need you guys to help us draw attention. Remember all the memes that you guys are making? Remember all the videos, all the posts? Do it right now, exclusively for the grand finals. So if you have any ideas, any memes regarding the grand finals tomorrow, do submit it with the hashtag WCSMYSG, and it will have a chance to be featured tomorrow. So get that creative juice flowing. Submit all of your memes, all grand finals related. Remember, grand finals only.
Yeah, and you know, I'm interested to see all these memes, man. Like, it's been really, really funny all these weeks. But Talking about, we had a live trivia question just now, so it's time to show you guys the answer. I'm interested to see as well. Maybe it's E, Husky? Am I wrong?
Maybe it is. So we asked you guys which of these human champions was raised by a beast. And the answer is Nunu. Right? You told me that you think it's going to be Nunu. It is Nunu. The beast is Willem.
Yep, Nunu and Willem.
You know, and Willem.
No, that should have been the dead giveaway. Imagine they put that Nunu and Willem, you know?
I know, right? If they put it Nunu and Willem, that would have been interesting. But we'll take a look at the post game of game 2. Honestly, this one is a bit more straightforward, where RSG, they completely just walked over P6. We kind of saw like a couple of signs of life from the side of Phantom6 when Yoshi got off to a decent start, but mid lane, kind of a disaster for Haki. Iggy wasn't able to kind of bring that impact as a Jarvan. We see those early contests at the Scuttle Crab, SSK and CWJ made them pay, and of course Tipper had the game of his life, 8-0-4 on this Riven, uncontested.
Ravens, of course, as a Ziggs, you'll be hard-pressed to say that he doesn't deal a lot of damage, but just looking at it, he deals so much damage. Tipper as well, dealing so much. Yoshi, of course, like you said, he did play really, really well, dealing decent amount of damage, but it's nowhere where Tipper and Raven are.
And your question about the Rich Alistar completely answered, right? The front line that RSG has been looking for, and at the same time, there was nothing that P6 can do to break through that fortress that RSG has built for themselves. You gotta get through Rish, but then you have SSK, you have Tipper running into the entire team, and while all of that was happening, you're just getting bombarded by Raven, and the shield from CWJ is making life utterly miserable for Phantom6. But going into Game 3, do you think there will be any changes? Do you think the priority for Phantom6 in the drafting phase will change?
Honestly, maybe not. Because they did give priority away towards Yoshi, but Yoshi's been doing well, but the rest of the team not so much, so maybe they have to shift towards, I would say, Haki. Haki needs to step up, honestly. So far in the series, he's not been playing the best. Not to say it's completely his fault, but if he's able to step up in the lane, it could be a very, very different series you might be watching.
And I hope that happens, right? We don't want this to end at 4-0. It would be a very sad exit for P6. But we get RSG back on that blue side, so that means first pick, Set gets banned out again. I think for RSG, they're not too worried on who they want to ban, but for P6, now they have a lot of things to think about. Do we want to go for the same bans, or should our focus shift?
Yeah, do we want to ban the Riven again? It's going to be the same bans for RSG. I think it's going to be exactly the same. It's going to be those Gragas as well. P6 still sticking to the same band. So will we see the Camille then maybe the Riven? Oh, actually, Fiora banned out. Didn't really like how Yoshi played that well on Fiora.
Yeah, just want to eliminate the threat, right? But for P6 going for the Camille. So we're looking at a Game 1 ban once more. It's not much difference from there. And that means Lulu goes over to RSG. But will P6 get the Karma again?
I mean, it was going really, really well for P6 that first game. Just that, of course, like you said, the Rift Herald turned everything around, but Karma coming in for P6 is a great pickup. And Olaf, same thing. It's 2-in-1. It's a 2-in-1.
I feel like we're watching a replay. Is this a replay of the first game? Oh, wait, hold on. We will find out for the next pick from RSG. Is it going to be... So far, we are 4 out of 10.
Honestly, if I'm RSG, I'm like, you want to play back the same comp? I'm happy. And they let the Riven slip through.
Yeah, this time it's a bit different. Tipper gets his hand on the Riven. No more Renekton, he's tired of that. He wants someone that can, a champion that can let him show off his skills. And that means P6, they put the Garen in the equation again. It could still go on to Yoshi, right? We can have this Karma in the hands of Haki. But if that's the case, then I feel like P6 are kind of limiting what Yoshi can do. You want Yoshi to be active. You want Yoshi to be actively contesting Tipper. But Garen is not really the champion. Ziggs and Nami, though, they both get banned out. Yeah,
I think Ziggs is a great ban cover for P6. You see how Raven played so well onto that side. Vayne as well, so they are targeting Raven a little bit more here. Let's see, final ban RSG. I'm thinking maybe someone like Kaisa, maybe Varus could be a good ban. We have to wait and see. They do ban on the Shen. Okay.
Yeah, we saw the ball delivery system from P6, right? And that was, without the Garen. We just looked at the Shen, the Olaf, and the Orianna and the Karma. But this time, like you said, pointing it out well. Kaisa goes over to Momo once more for P6, but for RSG, they have, again, a plethora of options to go for. Barring that we don't have the Ziggs this time, no Vayne for Raven, 2 of the champions that he has been playing for the first 2 games, they will still put Rich on that Alistar.
Yeah, I think that's a great pickup for Rich. Like, earlier I was saying it didn't make any sense, but now it makes sense because you have the Garen, you want to stop that. So, Corki, that's a very, very interesting pick. I think it's one of the better picks coming out rather than Varus. I think you want that little mobility with your Valkyrie, a little bit more, and Ahri coming in from P6 to round out the composition, so it will be a Yoshi Garen.
Yeah, Yoshi Garen, Nyx on the Karma, and we get Haki on one of his signature champions with just the Ahri. But the Ahri will be facing off most likely against the Lulu, because you know Lulu is going to be in the hands of CWJ. The Corki is definitely an interesting pick because first of all, we don't see much Corki. Second of all, last time I talked to Raven, I asked him, what do you think about Corki? And he says Corki is a horrible pick. I don't like it. You know, throw him in the trash. And now he's playing Corki. So I want to see what RSG have up their sleeves.
Yeah, firstly, I'm a Corki main. So I'm offended, Raven, first of all. But at the same time, I'm happy to see him on the big stage for possibly the 3rd game for RSG. So Corki, if played well, you can't really play early with him because he's not really that strong. But once he gets those rockets built up with the poke and the immense burst that he has late on, it depends on what build you go. But I think Corki is a great pick coming in.
So throughout the league, a lot of us are on the don't pick Corki end of the thing. It feels like Corki is a pick that you go for when you don't know what else you want to pick. But since I have a Corki aficionado here, I want to ask you, what is good about Corki?
Well, Corki he's basically I would say he's jack of all trades, master of none. He has great wave clear. He has good wave clear. He has good burst damage. He has good one-on-one damage. He has good roaming abilities. He has decent disengage, decent mobility. But he is not great at any of these things. He's not great at wave clearing. He's not great at self-sustaining lane. He's just decent at everything. So he's more of, like you said, you don't know what to pick. You pick Corki because he does everything.
Safest pick, I suppose. Which is a bit surprising, right? I thought RSG would just put Raven on the Caitlyn again, but you know, maybe some flashbacks from yesterday against 7-9.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want to give you something that buys Proto Belt, right? That's not. You haven't mastered that Hex Tech item just yet. This is the final lineup, though. We finally get to see Haki play more of an active mid laner. We talked about this pre-series where will Haki transition from a more utility team-based champion to a more selfish champion so that he can make more moves. Ahri is perfect for him.
Yeah, I think Ahri will be very good, and this is a big deal because CWJ will be at risk of dying very early on if Haki is able to land that charm and Iggy comes in at the same time. It's going to be a lot of damage from both of them, so CWJ had to play a little safer. You know, like we said, the last series it was Karma and Garen. Now it's Lulu and Ahri, which is a big contrast from those two.
Yeah, last game we said, you know, there's no way anyone goes down mid. I don't want to say that. I feel like if I say that CWJ is somehow going to solo kill Haki, I hope that doesn't happen, but only the players can prove us wrong. Let's hop into Game 3 of this best of 7. Tournament lives on the line though. RSG are up 2-0 and Phantom6 have yet to find the first game.
Yeah, and already early on you can see Phantom6, Yoshi and Haki, the same thing where RSG going to be clearing out the waves, and I'm looking at this bottom lane. I mean, of course, the Corki bias is coming in, but at the same time, you know, I do think that SSK will put a little bit more focus to the bottom lane.
Of course, just some assistance down mid for, you know, from both the Baron laners to help shove the wave in. I think Haki is not going to be too worried. You're on the Ahri, your wave clear, you know, by default is going to, you know, supersede what CWJ has on the Lulu. What does that? Clear the lands, but Haki on the Ahri, one orb deception, that's the wave gone. Get the Luden's Echo, and your job is pretty much simplified by 10 times. But we get a slightly different matchup up top, right? It's not the aggressive Fiora or, you know, the aggressive Fiora into Riven. This time it's just a Garen.
Yeah, the whole idea is for Garen in the lane is, no, just don't lose lane. Just don't die. Let the wave crash in the tower. Clear it with your second skill. Charm does land, but that's not going to do too much early on. But at the same time, mid lane is going to be the same thing. It's going to be reversed actually for RSG, where you just don't want to lose the lane. CWJ, you just want to farm up, match farm, and hopefully when it goes to the team fights, it will be more useful than Ahri.
Yeah, very unlucky though. Haki just now, he landed the charm, but he didn't have his orbital deception. Did use it to clear the wave. As Eggy passed by, SSK shows up mid. Thankfully, nothing of importance was lost. Haki gets to keep his flash as Tipper gets ignited. Well, as Tipper ignites Yoshi to bring him down low within kill range. As SSK, he's pathing up top, and Yoshi smells that something's in the air, so he will be forced to back off.
Yeah, I mean, Yoshi not leaving anything to chance, just gets a quick run away. He's going to regen up with his passive though, so he might just stay, greed a little bit longer, but he's not in range for the XP, I believe, so he's not really doing much. He's just waiting to see if SK pops out anywhere else. Haki, once again, just clears the wave, no problem at all. And back to bottom lane, you can see Raven already now going to back off. Early Executioner's Blade coming in from Momo as well, so just get it out of the way early on.
Yeah, they actually saw Nyx under that ward that they placed in front of the Crux. So RSG have full information of where P6 are padding towards. CWJ doing a great job. He's constantly using the help picks and the glitter lands to proc electrocute onto Haki. So even when we say that Haki, on this RE has that wave clear with a kit, you walk out to CWJ, he's just gonna point and click you.
Yeah, it's just easy poke in the lane, but at the same time, looking at top, Tipper is just really holding his own. He has no issue. Look at the goal difference as well. It's almost 500 at this point on the side of Tipper, and it's just from him denying any. Whoa!
And Haki gets first blooded.
Okay.
Help me with this.
Okay, so as we did see most of the fight, I would assume that Haki walked up, got poked a little too low. CJB saw his opportunity, flashed, ignite, auto attack, and that sealed the deal. Haki had no way to escape. A flash would have saved him. Tipper is spotted by Eggy as well, but that was a great pickup from CWJ.
Yeah, and it's very uncanny, right? If you are the Ari and you go down mid, solo to a Lulu, it's a big problem for P6. Of course, RSG getting the good start means that Luna's Echo gets picked up by CWJ. Oh, this is going to be tough for Haki. He's in a world of pain. Objectives are spawning in 10 seconds, though. I want to see P6 can contest those.
I mean, it's once again the classical. We said last game, no way they die, and then we say no way CWJ kills Haki, and Haki gets killed by CWJ.
I feel like if I want P6 to win, I have to say no way RSG wins this, right?
It's too late. You gotta say it before game. You gotta say it before game.
All right, I guess we're looking at a 7-game series with a reverse sweep. That's what we're looking at. Rift Herald started up by Eggy. He's dancing around the Rift Herald a bit, but he's walking on the vision. So RSG shows up with full force. They even have the package onto Raven. So I don't think P6 can contest this, though. They have full vision of where Phantom6 are. Momo also shows up. This is gonna be tough, and Rich goes straight to the backline with the pulverize. Does get bursted down, but not dead yet. SSK counter strike, a good transition embrace onto all 5 members, but still no kills come through. Double kill for Haki, though he finally gets the job done as they slay SSK. Momo flashes forward for the third as Haki dashing with the Spirit Rush, procs the electrocute onto Raven. 4 kills for Phantom6, and I think the Rift Arrow also goes over to them.
They took a little too long on the side RSG to start the fight. They had the package, and when you have a package as a core key, you cannot hold on to it too long. It's used, it can be used very aggressively. The amount of damage from the package is insane. It's I think it's about 200 damage a second from the package if you're on top of it. So it's gonna be a lot of damage. So Raven's using it, keeping it for so long, and Tipper getting charmed. Does not go for the kill. Didn't have flash, didn't have ignite, no ulti to chase up, but good play for Haki, knocks Tipper away.
The Rift Herald got secured by Raven. So even through all of that, RSG still walked away with something. So the Corki will hold on to the Rift Herald, summons the top. This turret will crash for sure, as P6 will not be able to respond in time. So all things considered, I would say, RSG are happy with this arrangement.
And they're going to get the second charge as well because P6 are busy with the dragon. Haki will now go back, but the second charge is going to be confirmed at the top. Knocking back Yoshi, you can't stop the charge, and there's going to be so much damage onto the tier 2. Ooh.
But Yoshi was able to back 2 kills, so that does give him some lead, right? Kind of pull him back in terms of net worth, considering the deficit that Tipper was able to deal to him early on. Haki also got 1 kill out of that. Momo off to a great start. P6 up 4-1 in terms of kills. Like you pointed, Raven was not able to utilize that package to its maximum potential. But the fact that RSG are still the first team, are still the team that was able to take the Rift Arrow away, means that P6 will not be able to make any further moves.
Yeah, and it was so important because if they lost that, they would lost so much momentum, probably crashed it at the mid lane, taking the mid turret away. And like we always said, mid lane turret is where all it's basically like the main express center lane, where everything goes through. And if you lose the mid lane turret, you lose access to your own jungle. You give basically a free pass away to P6. So RSG are lucky that they got the Rift Herald and they sustained minimal losses at that point.
We see CWJ moving with SSK into the P6 jungle. SSK trying to steal those resources away. Yoshi will find them, but it's a bit too late. SSK walks away with Daylight Robbery. And RSG so far, they are going to pull some members down bot, but P6 do have utilities to get away. His Nyx on the Karma will can always give Momo that fallback plan. P6 pulling RSG around the map, but RSG so far are not too bothered about it.
Yeah, I mean, look at Ravens. He has his package ready, but I doubt he's going to pick it up anytime soon because there is no big fight that you should be fighting. Don't just fight for the sake of fighting. Pick the correct time, and with package up, they could technically look for a defense, but I think Ravens will be just happy clearing up the mid lane. They will give the bottom tier 1 away, not a big deal. Going to reset from the side of P6. Top lane, the lane is crashing in, so Yoshi is on top lane duty most of the time.
Very preoccupied thanks to RSG setting up those early waves. This game is slightly slower than the first two we've seen. Both teams kind of stepping on the brakes a bit, but we see Haki, with the Luna's Echo. Expect a bit more proactivity from this Ahri. But we know our focus so far has been on Tipper and Yoshi alone. But Rich and Haki and CWJ, so, throughout the first two games, I feel like CWJ has shown a bit more of that composure, right? You see Haki feeling compelled to make moves. We saw the desperation in game 2, didn't work out. RSG were able to keep their head cool. They were able to keep their lead. And RSG is one team that if you give them an inch, they will take a mile.
Yeah, and talking about Rift Herald has just spawned. It won't be as super high priority as it was earlier, but you can see now, they start it, but they don't actually, they hit it, but they don't start it because they need Ravens to get his package. He goes up, gets it, but they're a little late. The timing's a little off, so Phantom6 might be able to burst it out even before Raven comes, so this might be the wrong timing coming in, and RSG just too late to the party. They pick up the package, but no way they're going to get the Rift Herald.
Yeah. Not able to meet the delivery time. That's a complaint. They are going to launch a complaint right there. Now P6 sneaking it away under the noses of RSG, just playing around that advantage. Haki has to be careful though. Rich is kind of hovering in the shadows. Haki, Compel goes in, tries to go for a pull, but ends up forced away, uses Spirit Rush, ignited. As Raven tries to go for a kill, chases him down with the package and the Valkyrie. Haki gets punished. No backup from P6. They finally show up. Raven will go down, and Switch should be the next. But does have to polarize, and Eggy will follow up with it. But while all of that was happening, the side lanes are getting pushed in by RSG.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I would have went in if I was Raven as well. You didn't know if the Ignite would take down Haki. He didn't need to go in. If he kept his package, he would have been able to survive, but he did not know that, so he went in, he gets killed, but RSG lose the Dragon and 2 kills. They trade 1, but they do get 2 turrets in the meanwhile, 1 tier 2 and 1 tier 1. I think, to be fair, that's a really decent trade.
Yeah, and on top of that, they also pulled the entire P6 to their mid side, right? They bought a lot of space for themselves. So it's a worthy sacrifice from RSG, very calculated move. But with those objectives off the map, this game might just come down to that Baron Nashor, which in the first 2 games was not the turning point. But in game 3, it feels like it will be the strongest bargaining chip.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm looking at the point of this game. I'm trying to think who's stronger, and I think I'm levitating towards RSG. Tipper is in a decent position with the Divide Center. Yoshi is still not that strong. He doesn't have the goal to back it up. SSK is stronger as well. He's scaling. Haki is strong, yes, but you don't really see Ahri as a team fight winning champion. It's more of, we pick someone off, then we need the rest of the team to follow up. Momo is decently strong as well, but Ravens is just right behind him. Ravens is as strong. He has a Storm Razor and SS Reaver to deal a lot of damage, and the supports, obviously, it really depends on how they play, but Rift Herald dropping down in the bottom lane.
They want this tier 2. Unfortunately, they will not get it. Shelly can even get a charge off. Can't even do so. Meanwhile, SSK just assassinates Haki. If you see SSK, you know that CWJ is going to be with him. He is sticking onto the Jax like glue. And P6 pops the Ragnarok, goes straight onto SSK and CWJ. Can they finish him up? Yes, they do. Yoshi will get the job done. They do lose Eggy. And RSG ready for the turnaround. Rich gets the stun onto Nyx, and Tipper follows up with the Wind Slash. Nyx will also be finished off. Prolo back from Rich, catches 2 of them. Tipper follows up, but they end up losing Rich instead. The damage from Momo is sufficient. RSG, bit of a more that they can chew.
RSG had a moment of hesitation that Ravens backed off as Tipper was TPing in. So if he actually Valkyried in, could have been a different fight. But overall, still a great fight for RSG. Momo not going to try to do damage. Ravens will try to run away. He does get away. So very, very close. But this is starting to get to a point where P6, if they lose the next fight, it's going to be hell to come back. They have to look for something.
And this was a fight, right? In fact, I think it ended with a 3-for-3 trade. Not too bad considering, you know, P6's current position.
Yeah, I mean, Raven's Valkyrie back was actually the point where P6 actually had some breathing space. If he Valkyrie forward, now I think this would have been a kill. Momo would have died, Yoshi would have died, and this could be a completely different game. Baron spawning in 20 seconds, so I'm going to assume that this is going to be the tipping point. Where this is where the game is going to be made or break for P6.
Yeah, if P6 wants a lifeline, P6, you know, wants to make sure that they don't get walked to the edge of the plank. This is the game they need to start winning.
I mean, look at Ravens. Honestly, he's at a point where he's so strong. Momo is as strong, don't get me wrong, but look at the rest of the team. Yoshi has the Heartbreaker and the Black Cleaver, so when he joins the team fight, he won't be as useful. Of course, Tipper has it as well, but it's Tipper. He's going to be in the side most of the time. I think they're looking for a little bit of fight. Yoshi comes up. Get some vision around the Baron pit. There's a ward for each team. Just slowly pushing it up. Ravens has the package ready, so they are able to fight if they want to.
And RSG have already positioned 4 members up mid. And there are certain, you know, elements that we need to watch out for when P6 takes on RSG, right? SSK with that Lulu. We haven't seen RSG fight at full force just yet. So far, everything has been pretty scattered. But what if RSG comes in and they start that team fight? How is P6 going to take care of SSK? How are they going to, you know, stop this avenue? They pulverize onto Nyx, but thankfully Nyx is there. You know, just mantras them out of the way.
Yeah, and now Ravens with the package is going to take a little hesitation from the side of P6 to actually go in. As he's going to destroy this dragon. No problem at all. Here comes the package to buy a little space here, but Ravens going to be exposed so little, but he's going to be flashing away at the back.
And a good Transcendence break comes in from Nyx. You can see a back like he dove on Tipper. Still gets the kill onto Yoshi. And everyone from RSG is still alive. They get the dragon. Now they walk away. P6 wants to chase. And Tipper, he's tempted. But unfortunately, P6 will not get any kill in return, at least for now. Haki will run forward, does have the speed boost though. Rich will have the protection of Tipper, and he should be able to get away. Flashes though, re-engages, pulverizes, Tipper joins back in, gets exhausted, and that's where Momo dives in with the killer instinct. Raven comes back with a teleport. Can RSG get some return? The answer so far is going to be no. Raven, Valkyrie is over, gets hit by the Storm Ranger to slow down SSK in the backline. This fight very much split up, but Eggy will finish off Raven. CWJ barely alive, but Momo will make sure he goes down, and now it's SSK. Counter-strike on 2. Can SSK get the job done? Finishes off Haki, gets blown up by the Momo, and it will be P6 with an ace.
RSG was doing so well, kiting back, getting Dragon. Alright, let's back off, Then they just, something flipped in their head. Look at this. They were like, okay, let's back off. We got them to back off. Then Rich was like, you know what? I'm going to go in. I can't take it anymore. He goes in. Tipper goes in as well. They don't have the damage to finish Nyx off. They're all going Eggy. Momo outs in. And the TP coming in from Ravens as well, trying to deal damage. But this was the mistake. He Valkyried into darkness. And they all walk up to him. He does dodge skill shots, but the unstoppable Ragnarok coming in on Dragon. Baron.
Baron, who's going to secure it? It seems like P6 have gotten it in the back. Tipper falls away, and Rich will be chased down. Yoshi heals himself up first. P6, they had to sacrifice Momo, but at least they got Baron Nash, and that's what matters.
They got it done, so even though the goal is still RSG, Phantom6 still has a little bit of lead. They're able to get stuff done here, and they have to use this Baron to recuperate their losses. You can see Yoshi is catching up, still 4,000 gold behind. This goal lead is held by Tipper alone.
Now Tipper is making bank. Now Tipper is walking his, has a lot of cash in the pocket. But this is where we look at the net worth, right? Can those net worth be converted into a win? Can those net worth be escalated into something that RSG can hold on to, to keep themselves in this game? And so far, it has been the case. Tipper getting his 4th item. So we saw the Black Cleaver and the Death Dance. A triple teleport on the side of RSG. They really want these kind of fights to catch P6 off guard. Kind of reminiscent to what you say in game 1. RSG, they cannot fight head on. They need to find those flanks. And this game was the game that they are trying to go for it. Well, we see Rage to the back, like doesn't get the polarize though. Usually onto Yoshi. SSK joins in, gets a counter strike, and Yoshi is gonna be the brick wall. Haki dashes forward for some extra damage, but he gets exhausted. So no finisher on RSG member. They end up losing Yoshi.
Yeah, but look at the bottom lane. Look at the amount. How is it going to be getting tier 2 taken down already by Phantom6? They will be backing out. Momo just put some words, and now they're actually debating, do we stay? The package is available actually for Raven, so they don't want to stay too long. I know they're doing a little damage to SSK. They do lose the tier 3 at top, and that's going to be a huge blow. Oh, Rich!
Rich actually wants it, but all he's going to get is probably Eggy though. And he's gonna pop that Ragnarok. A spit fight again. Raven joins in. They do lose Rich as Eggy tries to run away. Pops the flash, tries to turn around and fight Raven, but ends up going down to SSK as Tipper takes P6 on a wild goose chase. And now P6 scattered around the map. The Baron power play not really as rewarding as what they would have wanted.
I think it was a negative Baron play, honestly, coming in from the side of P6. They were just 2k down. Now they're about 4.5. So a big misplay, and now packaged up as well. 25 seconds till the Mountain Soul, so they gotta be extremely careful. And I think this is gonna be, if Phantom6 lose this, it's gonna be end.
Yeah, it felt like the Baron didn't matter, right, at the very end. And the Phantom6 kind of feeling the jitters a bit as RSG. We saw the Raven coming online, the Jack of all trades, but it's enough. Elder Mountain Drake, this is the objective. Phantom6 needs to contest this. Tipper has TP so he can join, but P6, they need to make a move right now. RSG, they are teasing that Elder Drake, a bit, as Tipper continues his big push up top. Yoshi has to match him, and he also bought the teleport.
Yeah, and you see Tipper being away, it's actually really good because you drop Yoshi away. Who's going to run in? If Eggy runs in, he's going to be so vulnerable because Ragnarok takes away your armor, MR, going to be so vulnerable. A lot of damage coming in. Look already, Raven's just poking them away with his rockets, with his switch skill. SSK alone can deal the damage. Look at how fast he drops Dragon down, and still with the package on Raven, he can separate the team if he wants to. He has to find 7 seconds, and look at Tipper at top.
Yeah, Yoshi can't deal with him. Exhaust onto Momo. P6, what is the answer right now? SSK can finish off the Elder Drake. It get temporarily reset, and Eggy's gonna make his move right now. Redemption gets dropped down. Bromacia, that's Ragnarok. They want to go for SSK, but he has a counter strike. Wild up, a 3-man stun, and they do get Transcendence Embrace. The game might just end though. P6, your base is in danger. Yoshi holding on, but SSK beats them all down. Give him a real weapon. Raven chips in as P6 all crumble. Tipper, he finally dies, but P6 sacrificed so much.
He dies, but at what cost? The team is in shambles. They will lose the Mountain Dragon as well as Baron is up, so they're gonna get that reset and then go for the Baron as well. Still 30 seconds for Momo, 25 seconds for Eggy. This will be easy pickup for the side of RSG.
And Yoshi can't even get through Ravens at this point, as RSG gets a free objective, and such good juggling. They're pulling, it feels like, you know, they have P6 on a fishing string, on a fishing wire, reeling them in, you know, and then unreeling again. It's P6 getting pulled around left, right, and center. And Tipper is doing such a fantastic job. They hold down the Vanguard, which is Yoshi, making sure that that crucial member of P6 could not join the fight, could not play with the rest of the team, and P6, forced to make a decision, ends up falling to SSK and Raven. Now Baron is on the table. Everything on the side of P6 comes down to this one moment.
Yeah, and P6 gotta make sure that they get it done. Momo is at an extremely strong point, but so is everyone else. SSK is full item, Tipper is full item here. Of course, you can see Momo and Ravens, they're not full, but they're extremely strong at this point. No package though for Ravens, gotta make sure. So maybe if they want to make it a little bit more safe, they buy a little bit of time, make sure that Ravens can get his package, but at the same time, you don't want to lose the lead that SSK and Tipper has built up. They have so much items, they're so strong. Silent Dragon, look how fast he melts it like butter.
He's soloing Baron. He sees Nate's gets chopped, a lot of damage. Transcendence Embrace doesn't bring it back. He has the Zonya's enchantment. TP coming in. Oh, the TP from Yoshi gets cancelled. Tipper stops it. P6 forced to fight 4 versus 4. And it is just not a fight that they want to go for. And that means RSG finds a space in Baron Nashor. Yoshi completely disabled. Eggy's in base. He's not even there. This Baron is gone. P6, can it do something? Haki goes in, goes for a attempt to steal, doesn't get anything. SSK presses Smite, and Baron buff goes over to RSG. And Tipper, 1 versus 2, knocks up Yoshi, gets a stun. Wind Slash is available, but he doesn't even need it. He cuts P6 down, and game 3 is gonna be in the hands of RSG. The minions will do the job, and P6 will not stand. RSG takes them down.
RSG gets the win. Minions win it for them. They don't even need to kill anyone. Minions, just do your job with the... Oh my god, the Baron Empowered Cannon minions.
Chef's kiss. When you see Baron Empowered Cannon minions in your base, you're in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna be voting for RSG at this point, the Cannon minions.
Yeah. Poor Yoshi, though. We saw that TP getting channeled, right? And that's the thing, we talk about how Yoshi and Tipper, that's going to be the matchup of the series, but Tipper got off to a slow start and then proceeds to completely shut Yoshi down. And I feel like P6, their backs are against the wall right now.
Yep. I mean, if they want to make it happen, this is the chance. They had 2 reverse sweeps happen. This is the time to make another reverse sweep happen. I mean, it's 4 against RSG though, so it's a tall task.
You need to run it back 4 games in a row. And I don't know about you, but if you're P6 right now, take it as a BO1, right? 1 game at a time. They have been in this spot before, but like I said, the stakes are higher, the teams are stronger. If they can make this happen, I don't think anything can stop P6. But if there's one thing that P6 are good at, it is playing the game of endurance. We'll see if they can close out this marathon and extend their lifeline a bit longer. But before that, we will take a breather and we will come back for more analysis about Game 3.
Here we go now.
I find them unworthy. It must be done. wills align.
Here we go now.
We're back for the lower bracket finals. The best of 7 between Phantom6 and RSG. And so far, RSG are at series point. 3-0 up Phantom6. I'm Husky. Alongside me is Lionel. Give me something about Phantom6.
Give you something. Yoshi played okay. You know, that's something. You know, they played fine, but it's honestly it's the mid game that's the problem for them. Even if they have a smooth early game, which they didn't really have, but it was decently smooth. Then when we rolls around to the mid game, where the macro is more important, they fall short. You know, they don't allocate enough resources to, let's say, stop the lanes pushing in. You saw constantly Yoshi was busy just stopping the waves at top. It was just crashing over and over and over again.
Yeah, and I think that's very unfortunate for the side of P6, right? But of course, you know, we have, you know, Wild Rift is not just about WCS. There's actually a lot more going on in the community, and we have something just for you guys out there. So if you guys aren't keeping up with the news just yet, here it is. Join the conversation for Wild Rift. You don't have to be a player, you can be an audience, but do remember, we love your memes a lot. And tomorrow is the grand finals, right? So get your creative juices flowing, make memes for the grand finals, about the grand finals, using the hashtag WCS MYSG, and you will have a chance to have your creation featured live tomorrow. And of course, we also have something. Just now we had 1 live trivia, but what's better than 1 live trivia? 2 live trivias. Let's roll the question, because I'm very interested to see what do we have here. What is the name of Nunu's Yeti? A. William, B. Willem, C. Willump, and D. Will Smith.
We kind of spot this.
I kind of, yeah. Unintentionally, we
didn't know. You know?
If you guys didn't pay attention to the broadcast just now, then you are out of luck.
Yeah, I mean, this is, you know, like when your teachers accidentally give you the answer to questions in class.
And you still fail the test?
Yeah, that's kind of on you, you know, honestly.
Like, if you don't get this answer right, shame on you. But P6 have more pressing matters than getting this answer right. They have to get the series right. We'll take a look at the post-game of game number 3, because I think the numbers, in this case, sure, it was a pretty bloody game, but at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is who takes down the Nexus, and in this case, it was the Winions from RSG side.
Yep, they played so well. I mean, Tipper, SSK were just so strong. They were immensely strong. SSK especially just went in with the Counter-Strike, slapped everyone around and just said, alright, see you guys, I'm going to go home, have a quick lunch, then wait, it's a best of 7, let's come back. But CJ as well, the goal doesn't reflect his worth. He did so much. His redemption was on point. All his polymorphs were on point. Everything done. But look at Tipper's damage.
Look at Tipper. And that's all we need to look at, right? I mean, Tipper, 30,000 damage on this Riven, completely on a roll. And this was when CWJ, he was just sticking to SSK. What was that animal again? You know, there's this fish that attached itself to a shark.
I don't remember.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about, right? Like CWJ is that. I don't think it's a parasite, but CWJ latches onto SSK, you know, just feed him all the resources, SSK goes to work, and Tipper is like, you know what, I don't need you, I will do it myself.
So you're saying CJV is a budget Yumi?
No, in this case, yeah, I feel like without Yumi, without Karma, then you have Lulu, right? Lulu is at the top of the echelon.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Lulu does really well. It's a little bit more different utility rather than just supporting one person. It's done where you disable the enemy carries as well, and I think CWG played extremely well. For me, he was the MVP, honestly.
Yeah, I think Lulu as a support is just deadly, right? In this case, we saw Lulu in the mid lane, but you know, you have a you have a slow, you have a knockup, you have a shield, you have point and click poke, but you also have polymorph. I think polymorph is the strongest form of disable because it completely renders you useless in the fight. We do have P6 back on that blue side. Lee Sin goes first. At this point, do you still think that we will see any difference in that bans, or do you think we will just stick to the same eliminations?
I don't think it's the heroes that are doing the problems. It's actually more of how they play in game. So the drops are not an issue. I think P6 have been drafting fantastically well, but they've not been executing the drops.
So we're just looking at
same bans.
Same bans. RSG outclassing P6 in terms of making their machine work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The cogs are a bit more well-oiled on RSG. Camille, Rakan, I think we can just focus on what P6 want to prioritize, right? Who do they want to go for? Do you think we're still going to fall back to the Lulu Karma? Will P6, they take out the Olaf, they don't give SSK that. But what does P6 want to open with? What is going to give them the biggest window?
I think it might be a RSG Lulu. Yeah, I was just about to say Lulu ban because there is no Karma Olaf anymore, so they don't want to give the Lulu away. So it actually might be a very interesting first pick. Maybe we see Gragas, it's left open. Fiora, okay, for Yoshi.
Yeah, so Yoshi back on the Fiora again. And this entire series, I think Yoshi has had the biggest responsibility, right? You have to deal with Tipper, you have to keep him on the leash, but you also have to make sure your lane goes well. Tipper split push, Yoshi, deal with Tipper. You know, objective contest, Yoshi, set up the side lanes, join us. So this entire series, I think he has really stepped up his game, but the rest of the team, they are lagging behind a bit. The Gragas goes over to RSG.
Yeah, everyone was saying before, like, Yoshi has to step up, Yoshi has to step up. He did step up, but the rest of the team did not follow him with that step, so be careful. But Senna picked up here early on for RSG. I think it's an interesting pick. I maybe would have thought they went for Riven for Tipper again, just so because Yoshi has already fought him and he has won that lane, so you might want to run it back.
Yeah. Do you think this is kind of like a different change from RSG? They're going down a tangent, right? You're up 3-0. Is this one of the games that you are just going to take a step back, you know, show something different, experiment a bit? You have some breathing room, right? You have some leeway if you're RSG.
You do, but I guess maybe RSG wants to go home early too, you know. Maybe they want to go home early, but okay, you know, maybe you're right. They are maybe experimenting a little bit. Graves coming in for RSG.
Yeah, one of the few champions in the jungle. They did receive some love in that end of the line wave clear against jungle monsters. But SSK is one of those few guys that you give him if you give him a jungler, better give him a jungler that can actually carry. Graves is one of those, right? Shen goes over to P6 once more, but because of that Fiora, I think this Shen might go over to Nyx, which I don't really mind. Yesterday we see Sam9 Winter play that Shen support against RSG and was able to win their games. But the question is, will P6 replicate the same thing? At least they'll get their hands on the Ziggs.
Yeah, and Xingqiao banned out as well. I would say it's an interesting ban. Maybe I went for the Karma ban instead if I was RSG, but Xingqiao is a good ban. Galio banned out, doesn't want to give it over to Haki. CWJ. And, okay, Tipper going for the Renekton.
Yeah, back to basics, right? No Riven, no Fiora, no Camille. Renekton seems like the best option. And this is where Nunu gets picked up by P6. Eggy gets that Nunu, which means that we will see that Fiora up in top.
Yeah, and you know, final pick, it has to be most probably the AD carry coming in for Phantom6. So maybe it's a Haki Ziggs, maybe not. Let's just see.
You can get a Morgana too, right?
Yeah. Okay, Varus.
Okay, so it's a Varus.
I think it's a decent pick against the comp that you're fighting. You have Graves, you have Senna. Don't really have a lot of hard engage, and you can really punish them with the chains. So Yeah.
Yeah, one of the few champions that buys the edge of Knight as well. So you get the Spell Shield, and RSG picks up RE for CWJ. So we get the Gragas Senna bot. Very classic, right? Raven is just gonna fast, not take anything, and so Rich gets the resources, builds into Rod of Ages, Deadman's Plate, so he will be doing damage, but most importantly, the displacement is there from the side of RSG. Of course, you have SSK, he's gonna skill out on his Graves, Raven Senna, infinitely scaling, that's what Senna is built for. But it feels like things are looking slightly better for P6 on paper.
Yeah, I mean, it has looked like that for a while. I mean, I like there comes much more easier execution and everything else, but they just couldn't do it. RSG, I feel like they're having a little fun here with the Senna and the Graves. When I saw Gragas, I was like, okay, they're being serious. You pick up Gragas, it's an important pickup. Then they pick Senna. I'm like, okay. It's not to say Senna is a bad pick, but it's not that solid pick I would see from RSG all the time.
It does fit into RSG's repertoire again. Chaotic fight, they love those scrappy skirmishes. I think this draft fits them well. But, let's take a look at the jungle for a while. We get the Graves, and then we look at the side of P6. They have that Nunu. And we have seen Nunu yesterday, right? When Phantom6 went up against Upcard Esports, that Nunu kind of felt like the winning formula in the jungle. Very tanky thanks to the buffs. Great jungle clear, can easily secure objectives because you technically have double smite. How is that Nunu going to fit into the P6 draft?
Honestly, this Nunu has to be very aggressive when he's about level 3, level 4. He has to look for the ganks with the snowball. Because I felt that is where Phantom6 won that game against Upcard. They were looking for great ganks coming in from their Nunu. He got those kills, and they were just able to snowball their game.
Yeah, but snowball, yeah. Even the skill name is actually called I think the greatest snowball ever.
Yeah. So that's gonna be one of the major things that P6 has to look out for RSG. Vision is important against Nunu.
Do you miss the old Nunu?
Oh.
The Nunu that gives you the blood boil.
And the flying third skill.
Right, and I think it's called like Ice Blast or something, right?
Yeah.
But like at level 1, you play Nunu support. At level 1, you just go in blood boil, and then you just Ice Blast. Ice Blast. It's
yeah, it's
super,
so fun. Yeah.
You know what I miss? AP Scion with Deathfire Grass.
Oh no. No. Point and click stun.
Point and click stun, a shield that is thicker than its full health, that explodes. Yeah, so stuff of nightmares. Be great for you guys. You will not see that in Wild Rift. We've been through a lot.
I mean, River Shen was a thing.
River Shen was a thing, yeah. What else? Black technology. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just glad that Firegrass doesn't exist anymore.
I'm just glad that we have no more AP Master Yi.
I'm just glad we don't have Occult Blade. Do you remember Occult Blade stacking AD Magi?
Yes. So Occult Blade, we have what was one of the best jungle items that everyone actually misses? Wriggle's Lantern.
Yep, the lantern.
One of the best jungle items. Good old days. And I feel like we're talking in like alien terms that a lot of people might not understand, but it's okay. Those are great fun days. We're gonna focus on the present for now. Phantom6 against RSG, game number 4 kicking off right now, and Phantom6 need to win this to stay alive in this best of 7, or RSG will earn the ticket to face up against M9 tomorrow.
Yeah, RSG, they are in the driver's seat. They are on match point, and like if you guys don't know, winner goes to the grand finals. You should know by now if you're watching this long anyways, but just in case you didn't know, winner will be heading on to the grand finals, SSK as well. This is going to be Graves clears waves so quickly. It's insane how quickly he clears stuff.
I mean, like with Massey getting nerfed, so of course you want to look at the Graves, right? It's more self-sufficient, I suppose. Nyx just missed the stun, missed the taunt. But I think this bottom lane will be a bit more self-sufficient, right? With the Varus and the Shen, feels like RSG won't be able to bully them as much. You do have those pokes, you do have the crowd control, but Yoshi is off to a decent start, getting Tipper down low. But they do have Graves, SSK around that crux. So Yoshi got to be a bit careful. But so far, he has been able to make sure that the wave pushes towards him, has the barrier in hand if Tipper goes aggressive.
Yep, and Tipper, he has to back off. He does go for his fruits, and so far everything looks good for both sides. And normally you would say, there's an extra smite onto Eggy here, you'll be clearing faster, but honestly, later the game goes, SSK is just going to clear these camps like it's nothing, and early on, Ravens will have the advantage, has that range advantage, has a lot of damage. Yoshi going to be really low, barrier, like you said, still up.
He's going to go for the riposte, pops the barrier, flashes for Tipper, first blood for Yoshi.
Oh, Yoshi does it again. Another first blood. Talking about the bottom lane. They do get the greatest snowball ever with the exhaust onto Raven's flash in. Momo going in, but he does not get the kill just so far. Smacked onto the head.
Yeah, Rich gets a double kill, and Momo, he will trade his life. Unfortunately, Rich does have the body slam. RSG gets a return down bot, and just Rich bagging both kills, that is the best case scenario for this Gragas right now. And while all of that was happening, SSK just breaks into the house of P6, steals the blue buff and the Grump.
He's having the time of his life as the Graves here, you know, invading, getting whatever you want, getting the Grump as well. There's going to be so much gold in his back pocket. Of course, he did get the kill on the side Iggy, so he does have a little bit more gold, but SSK, I think RSG overall will be very happy with that. They do have 500 gold lead early on. Doesn't translate to much, but Yoshi once again saying, come on guys, I got the kill, you know.
Yeah, Yoshi's like, come on man, like what else do you want me to do? Like, I solo killed Tipper, I got a slight lead, and you guys died bot.
And that was a 3-on-2 as well. He came.
I feel that's one of those solo kill moments, right? When you are crushing a lane, and then like your teammates are just dying, and Tipper, oh, gone on, grand challenge issued. As Yoshi is gonna get a second kill, Dominus pop, Eggy will claim that. But it's a good shutdown for P6. They make sure the Tipper doesn't come online.
Yeah, what I said, Eggy has to look for the ganks with the snowball, and he does find two successful ones. Not as successful at the bottom lane, but it is successful enough. And they land the chains of the Momo. There's gonna be a lot of damage, knocking back into the ultimate. A lot of damage.
Yeah, Momo is gonna go down for sure. Just perfectly chained up the controller cast, send Momo backwards and hit him with the Dawning Shadow. RSG just completely decimated this bottom lane, and that means P6 have to make some move. Tipper once more gone on. Aftershock props, Tipper wants a return, but it will be Yoshi picking up the third kill on Tipper.
CWJ walking up though, he has ultimate, he can chase Flash as well, Ignite already, Eggy will most probably go down. CWJ flashes in, gets the kill, then CWJ will return the favor, but already one plate down to the bottom, so RSG looking really well at the bottom.
Yeah, and Nyx is struggling to hold on. That, both teams having some sort of exchange, right? Tipper getting sacked up top, but for P6, their Dragon Lane is suffering. And while all of that was happening, SSK actively farming in the jungle, just making sure that he is constantly getting their resource up. In fact, SSK hasn't even gone for his first recall just yet. The first objective will spawn, SSK still sticking around in the jungle, power farming, getting that break buff for himself. Yoshi shows up, tries to fight Tipper once more, and just want to make sure that Tipper doesn't get to play the game at all. Another grand challenge issue, Tipper has a flash, he's gonna finally blow it. Yoshi will not chase for this, knows that RSG might be nearby, but there's a lot of attention pulled by P6.
Ooh. Tipper pops the ultimate, making sure that he can go in the fight. Reha is really, really low.
Oh, Yoshi
is low as well. He does put the riposte in.
Yeah, and then they're gonna try and get the kill onto RSG, and they do. Rich and Tipper both go down. Double kill for Yoshi. As Raven tries to go for a chase onto Haki, finishes him off with one more auto attack. Raven just want to take the blast go over the wall, but Nyx just follows up with a good taunt, and that will be 4 kills over to the side of P6.
They do hand it over to Momo, so Momo getting his first kill of the game. He will be around the same goal as Raven at this point, so goal is pretty much even at this point. But it shouldn't be, I mean, look how strong Yoshi is. 2,000 gold above a Tipper. Tipper is not having a great game. Like we said, the first game where Yoshi got first blood on the Shen, he couldn't capitalize on it. But now with the Fiora, he's given that freedom to just go in, and Tipper can barely even stay in the lane.
Yeah, every time Tipper shows up, Yoshi just forces to fight with him. And you can see he's doing just that, right? Tipper, no flash, ultimate still on cooldown. RSG starts off the Cloud Drake, but P6 have the Ziggs, they have the Nunu. Unfortunately, they don't tend to contest it, so they end up losing both objectives. The Rift Herald was secured by SSK early on, and RSG will take the Cloud Drake.
This is a great start on this RSG, even though they are down in kills, but they are not down in terms of objectives. They're actually leading, like you said, getting the Rift Herald, getting the Dragon as well. Tipper wants to get in trouble. Leave the poor man alone. He is 0-4.
I don't think they want to go for this, right? Tipper under the tier 1. Yep. Go for the reset. Well, P6 this time doesn't get the ambush through, but it's good news for RSG. Yoshi will get the ward down. We see both Rich and Raven finally making their way mid, but it is into Haki's Zig, so this is not going to be easy. Though Rich will try with the ultimate, but the wall will keep Haki alive. Raven will get a couple of pokes in, gets the root down. Dawning Shadow off. Haki has the barrier. Doesn't have the barrier actually, and Raven actually gets the kill.
What a well-played execution coming in from the side of Ravens. He knows that you can slowly edge Haki into the root. He gets it done, gets the kill. Rich missing the initial casket, but it's fine. He gets it at the end, but bottom tower taken down. Nami tower under siege. Nyx gonna go in with the taunt. Doesn't hit anything so far.
Let's get a taunt. Chain of Corruptions up, but look at the damage though. Nyx barely survives as Momo blocks it. They send the referral up. Eggy finally shows up, but CWJ forces the flash out of Momo. Doesn't get any kill on the side of P6, but they do get the mid tier 1, and that's all RSG needs.
Yep, and they do get it down. RSG back, and I'm going to reset here. Great fight so far. They are up 2,500 gold at this point. Ravens, even though he's been fasting for so long, but he's getting so much souls here, and he will be so strong going forward.
He's 3-2. Divine Sunder will be the first item, and that's where Raven is going to start hurting. He has a Proto Belt on a Senna. I have never seen a Senna go for a Proto Belt. I mean, this is the first for me. P6 wants that bot tier 1, but CWJ and SSK will show up. In fact, they bring the whole team here. SSK is going to go in with a quick draw. Raven and the rest of his team takes the bomb in the face. They get a root onto Eggy, but no follow-up from RSG.
Yeah, Ravens really has a Divine Sunder as well, so he's going to hit like a truck. And everyone at the side of RSG, maybe barring Tipper since he had such a horrendous early game, even so, he's still holding his own, trying to get as much farm as he can. And SSK is graciously allowing him to get some jungle camps like, here you go, sir, you need it.
Yes. It's assigning those resources. You want to help. Tipper has been lifting the weights for the first 3 games in RSG. When Tipper needs some help, RSG gives it to them.
Yeah, I think it's camaraderie. What am I saying? Team I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I know the word you're going for, but
yeah.
I don't know how to.
So it is really nice to see them trying to help Tipper out, but still, he's not super far behind. He is down like a whole full item, but in terms of team fights, he should be still able to help. He does have the damage from everything, and Tipper is still just farming up the lanes.
And second Rift Herald started up by RSG. P6, they can contest this if they want to. If they want to go for this, Rift Herald, they started on, might be finished off. Mega Fireball comes in. Damage not enough from Haki though. The Herald still goes over to RSG. And that means that they have successfully denied it from Phantom6. And Phantom6 will find it pretty difficult to get these objectives secured for themselves. RSG is just doing such a good job. It feels like this is the same mid-game phase that we've been talking about. That macro from RSG where they pull P6 around the map, they make sure that P6 doesn't get any objective, and they always make sure that Tipper, even on its worst games, will be able to make sure that Yoshi is preoccupied. But Yoshi so far is having a pretty decent game. We see the Triforce, we see the Blade of the Rune King, but can P6 convert that into a bigger advantage? It doesn't seem so.
Yeah, and jumping back to that, RSG, they are at a very strong state right now. They are pushing in Iggy, like you said, he has an ROA, but with the Bramble West as well, he's not as tanky. SSK has so much damage as well. You can see that now they're going to slowly push in. They have to poke this though from the side of P6. They can't just run in all the way, but great snowball ever.
Hits onto 2. They do get them. Absolute Zero cancel. Dawning Shadow is out as well. As Eggy will be able to force everyone back, but CWJ in the back like gets taunted in the last second. Eggy does get taken down by SSK. It's a 1-for-1 trade so far. P6 can still contest this though as long as Haki is still alive. He can still throw out those bombs. As RSG, they need to juggle this objective. Poe coming in for Momo for long range as well. Haki does get rooted down, but SSK, that's the guy they need to take out. SSK will still secure the objective with the smite. RSG tries to retreat, but Momo will send the piercing arrow right through SSK.
Like, that's the best case scenario. Ravens gotta be careful though, but they do get the kill on the SSK, but RSG get the Inferno and they lose only 1. And this is the big snowball, hits onto 2. The Ziggs ultimate could have been a little bit better. Could have been a lot more damage and actually could have won them the fight. CWG going in, does not get the kill on the Momo and he dies as well. Nyx and Momo solo. And like I said, the poking just continues. Haki and Momo just throw. Even disrupts SSK's dash and he gets taken down.
And that's the least that P6 can hope for, right? If I don't get the objective, I don't want to make it expensive for RSG. But P6 can't even push these objectives. RSG comes back, there's the wave, and resetting the momentum of P6. And it feels like, RSG are willing to give a couple of members away. As long as they get those Rift Pharaoh, they get those dragons, P6 can't snowball any advantage.
Yeah, and you gotta be careful because later the game goes, Senna's gonna be much stronger. He's gonna scale. I mean, Shinji has infinite scaling, at this point. It's gonna be doing so much damage. So Nyx now in the bush, they don't spot him. CWJ and SSK gotta be careful.
Yeah, backup coming in from the side of P6. But Rich also shows up, and now CWJ just goes straight for the engage. Could be Momo going down. Nyx finally shows up, gets a taunt, but it's a bit too late. The damage dealer have been eliminated. Haki forced away. Yoshi and Eggy, they do get a kill down bottom to Tipper. CWJ also goes down thanks to Nyx, but Haki will be traded in return. The Rift Herald gets dropped top. RSG will pick up 3 kills.
Yeah, Tipper goes down like you said, but Tipper is right now the weakest member, so they don't mind losing him at this point. So they're gonna get the Rift Herald charge in. Oh, Yoshi, you're all alone there. You gotta be careful.
Even Yoshi with a 5-0 lead can't stand up to this. And RSG gets a tier 2. P6, I mean, it's a game where Yoshi is doing a phenomenal job. He's bringing Eggy with him. They're constantly shutting down Tipper. But is Tipper the main character? Absolutely not. I mean, P6, they are not able to hold on. Haki having a bad game. Both Momo and Nyx getting completely shut down early on by Raven and Rich. And it feels like Yoshi has to pull the heavy weight. They do find SSK. Can Yoshi at least get the kill? The bomb comes in for Haki. Yoshi procs the Grand Challenge, gets the kill. Haki getting dove on, goes down, but you have to stand united from Nyx. It's Yoshi's time to shine, but he is dropped low. Tipper wants to go for a kill as Yoshi pops the barrier. Tipper couldn't chase him now. Eggy now caught in the middle. Absolute Zero getting channeled. Bro Bear's gonna keep CWG safe. Nyx goes in with another taunt, flashes to safety as Yoshi tops himself back up. P6 with 2 kills.
Yep, good fight coming from both sides, and they do get to kill the Haki though because Rich did go in from the back and get that kill, so that's going to be a 2-for-1 trade at least, but still the goal lead is still on RSG side. They have the momentum coming in, they have the initiative at the winning side, and Momo got to be careful. I almost said Omo, shouts to Omo.
Remove 1 M and that's Omo. Yeah, you're not wrong there. But right now, I mean, RSG, they it feels like, okay, Tipper, yeah, he's gonna go down for the try to hug the wall to prevent the Vital getting proc. Donning Shadow for an extra layer of shoot. Tipper tries to turn around, actually gets away. Haki bomb coming through. The Aerie not enough to kill him off. I mean, Tipper just survived with a slither of health.
Even the heal missed from from Raven, you know. He was trying to dodge even his own teammate's spell at that point, Tipper, and he does get away with a sliver of HP, probably sub 10 HP at that point. The summon Aerie almost gets him away as well, but he will be just fine. They 10 seconds till the Ocean Dragon spawns, and this will be a make a break point. I mean, P6 have to win this. They're gonna slowly get scaled away by the Senna, so they have to win this fight.
Even when Tipper is down 0-5, he almost solo kill Yoshi. That's insane. Yeah, Rich looking for an avenue. Haki has the statues of safety. RSG taking control of the Ocean Drake. And we'll see if P6 wants to contest it though. Yoshi, because of of an amazing game that he has, he can have more ability to join his team, but wow, Eggy gone on Charm, a lot of magical damage. Ocean Drake's already gone. Nyx misses his flash as Nyx goes down, CWG flashes away. The ultimate for Haki only landing onto Rich, and Yoshi forced to use the repulse, but he's taking a heap of damage, stand united. And a good charm blocked by Nyx, but Yoshi ends up going down. The juggling from RSG is impeccable. P6 could not find a chink in the armor of RSG, and they will end up losing 4 members. Haki is the last man alive, and while all of that was happening, Tipper split push top, and RSG wins a huge fight.
RSG played it so well, backed off, put them into a choke point, and then Ravens was ready, and he dropped his root on top, lets the ultimate fly as well. And remind you guys, Tipper was not in that fight at all, and still 20 seconds for Momo. This actually could be RSG trying to go for the end, but they decide, you know what, let's not risk it, let's just go back, hit back, reset. We have a 12k goal lead, let's spend a little bit of that money that we just earned.
What is the answer from P6? What, if there's any shred of hope, are we just looking at a Baron turnaround? But before, I mean, this was the fight, right?
I mean, look at the fight. I mean, CWG jumps around, flashes, so perfect flash, mind you. And look at Ravens at the side, he lands that onto Momo. Momo nowhere to go, gets damaged. SSK comes in as well. Yoshi solo gets finished off by Ravens. He flashes over, exhausts Momo. He has nowhere to go. Ravens with the hack stack coming in, gets the kill, and the rest is history.
Just a front-to-back dance from RSG. They pull P6 into a choke point and just decimated them. And Eggy, oh boy, has a snowball, tries to flash, but the charm is true from CWJ. Chance absolute zero with the help of Haki. Can they at least get a return? The answer is no. Ravens will commit that ultimate for a kill, but Yoshi TP's in. Guess one. gonna be a golden for SSK. Yoshi gets a good riposte. Can he proc the second kill? He has a double for Yoshi, but now he's up against Tipper. As Tipper kills out Momo, Yoshi has the GA. He'll come back to life, but he needs help from Nyx right now. Flashes over the wall into a body slam. Nyx doesn't have the ultimate to keep Yoshi alive, and that means RSG can now slowly run Nyx down. A ruthless predator stun onto Nyx, and it will be Rich on a rampage. Two members of RSG still alive. I think this is series. RSG have done it. They've lost against M9 yesterday, but today they take down P6 4-0. It's grand finals time for RSG. They will earn that rematch against M9 tomorrow.
They're looking for the run back. It's gonna take a little while though, no minions coming in, but RSG will eventually get the kill. Eggy will spawn as the Nexus blows up. Victory 4-0 to RSG.
And the Alphas will butt heads again in the grand finals tomorrow. A best of 7 played out immaculately by RSG. Phantom6 did not stand a chance, and that means the chapter for Phantom6 will be abruptly concluded. They will finish 3rd place. They will not be able to repeat the Cinderella run that they had last year. RSG will take over that torch.
I mean, we are right, but at the same time we're wrong, because it wasn't a 4-1 victory for RSG, it was a 4-0. So I guess that first game was really the chance for Phantom6 to get that one game that we allocated for them.
Yeah, I honestly felt like Phantom6, you know, I think Game 3 was the game where it felt like Phantom6 had a chance, right? Game 1 to a certain point, Phantom6 played out well, but once RSG got their engines revving, Phantom6 could not keep out at all. And just like that, RSG, so far all the series that they played against M9, they have not won a single one of them. In fact, I think throughout the entire group stage, up to this point, the series that they played, they've only taken one game off of M9. The second group stage that they met, 2-0. Upper bracket finals, 3-0. So the record not looking too great for RSG, but they get another chance tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, really, really great. And RSG, like we said, they lost to Sem9 in the upper brackets. Now it is their time for revenge. They want to see, okay, you bested us yesterday, Sem9, but tomorrow it's a different day. A different day, it could be a different result.
Yeah, yesterday was the best of 5. Tomorrow is a best of 7. We are going the long way. And Sem9, make no mistake, they are at their best right now. Sem9 peak performance, completely untouchable. The only game that they lost, only series that they lost was against Upcar Esports, and that was Sem9 at their worst. And even at their worst, Upcar Esports had to work for it. But that is going to be a tale to be told tomorrow. But right now, Phantom6 against Resurgence, we've concluded that it wasn't really what I came in expecting. I thought that Phantom6 would be able to draw blood against RSG, but I want your insights on that. What went wrong for P6? What went right for RSG?
I mean, overall in the series, it's more of how Phantom6 approach the mid game. You know, when they are strong, they don't look for the fights. They opt to sit back, just farm up lanes where maybe they don't realize where their strong points are in the game. But at the same time, that's what RSG does well. They know, okay, at this point in the game, we're not as strong. Let's just sit back and farm. And that's what they did in the first game where Yoshi was strong with the Shen with the ultimate early on. They say, okay, let's not fight early on. Let's just back off. Only when there is a clear opportunity, they go in. For Phantom6, it's more, let's sit back. Then only when they're too far behind, they go for desperate plays like we saw in game. I think it was 2 or 3 where Eggy just tried to flash in the Baron Pit, just trying to get desperate plays like that.
Yeah, it's something that I think is synonymous with Phantom6 modus operandi, but the only difference is that this is RSG, and they do not let go once they got you in a stranglehold. But, you know, with all things done and dusted, I think it's fair to say that there is no better challenger than RSG to take on Sem9 again in the finals. If there's one team that we can put our hopes on to take down Sem9, it is going to be RSG. But even that is going to be a tall task.
Yeah, Sem9, like, look how well RSG played. And look how they performed against Sem9. Sem9 is just on a different level. But like I said, that was yesterday. Tomorrow's a different day. But what we're going to see as well is the last games post. And of course, looking at RSG also moving forward with the momentum. They just had a 4-0 going to the grand finals. Yeah,
and let's take a look how that last game turned out. Because I feel like these numbers, at least the kills, are very misleading, right? And in this last game, Yoshi got the best possible start that he could have gotten against Tipper. But we didn't see the conversion because the rest of the team was slowly cracking in the side lanes.
Yeah, honestly, it was a really, really great showing from Yoshi. Once again, he was the man for P6, but they could not run it, you know. RSG just held control of the bottom, the mid lane, and they just ran away with the game. You can see the richest person in the game actually is Yoshi, but he couldn't do anything.
But it's like the net worth, right? You have a lot of money. What do you want to do with it? In the case for P6, it's like we killed Tipper 5 times, and even then it was not enough. And just kudos to RSG. They at one point you did point out that Tipper is not the guy that you want to kill. You know, Yoshi kept going for Tipper. They keep trying to shut down Tipper, but is he really the problem? I don't think so, right? It was SSK, it was CWJ, it was Rich who were demolishing that Dragon Lane on Momo and Nyx. So P6 prioritization definitely kind of going haywire a bit, focusing a lot on their Renekton when Tipper wasn't the biggest issue.
Yeah, I mean, really well done, and I want to look at Haki. Of course, as a Ziggs, you will deal the most damage most of the time in games, but he couldn't get it done this game. The damage was good, yes, but he didn't find those final shots that come in. So it was a great effort, honestly, from P6. I mean, like you said, the kills don't really reflect the game. It was pretty one-sided to RSG after one point, but you gotta give props to P6. This is the closest forward I've seen in a while.
It definitely is. I feel like, you know, we have been setting up this hierarchy from the very beginning of the group stage, right? Beginning of WCS, where we know Semna is going to be at the top. We know that RSG is going to follow them. Who is in third place? Everyone thought, okay, Watermelon is going to be in third place, but I think even though P6 will not go further, they've proven one thing. Once more, they're put in a position of an underdog, and once more, they show up huge. They fell short in this series, but at the end of the day, they are able to cement that third place, and I think for Phantom6 is something that they can be proud of.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't feel too bad about if I was Phantom6, you know, even though I lost 4-0, I'll still take away some points. But take a look at the highlights from the match. You know, this is from the last game, and really well done from Raven's look. I mean, he does get the kill. He eventually does go down, but I mean, this is just the start of the end for RSG, Phantom6.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, RSG playing such an amazing game. We see all of these team fights where it felt like Phantom6 had a good start, but RSG, even with a crippled barreling, was able to bring the fight straight to P6. And that really shows us RSG's composure and how they recover from a deficit. I don't think we can even call it a deficit, right? Lane deficit, yes. Overall, I think RSG are still in the lead.
Yep, and at the same time, you know, I mean, I just love this play. I get to watch it over and over again. This was just perfect execution coming from RSG. There was almost no way they could have turned that fight as cleanly as this, but in this sequence of events where Ravens gets the root onto 3-man, and the ultimate into 3, the charm lands for CWJ as well, and yeah, Eggy as well caught out here.
And it's just a sequence of event where we saw RSG just utilizing, you know, the strength of the draft. And this is one of it, right? Yoshi knows that he is the only guy who can save the game, or at least buy a couple more minutes for P6, but the cards were not available. Stars did not align. Nyx was waiting for his ultimate, didn't have it, and when Yoshi went down, we knew that this game has already ended.
Yeah, I mean, the moment Yoshi went down to Tipper, it was basically the tipping point.
The tipping point, yep.
Yeah. I tried to get it in there, you know, it was hard to see Tipper.
Yeah, Tipper tipped the skills.
I like that, I like that.
Thank you.
Oh, I mean, 4-0 RSG, and you know what else can we say that could really emphasize the grand finals? 7-9 RSG, the 1 and 2.
Yeah, basically the first and second seed, the two strongest team that we have in this region, and this is coming from, you know, previously when Malaysia has a league on our own, Singapore has one on their own, but right now when two of us are merged together and we only have one slot, these two teams are the best teams to fight it out. And of course, we do have Raven with us for this winners interview. I have a lot of things to ask him, but let's welcome our winners of this lower bracket finals. Let's bring Raven on to the broadcast. Hello Raven. Good to see you again.
Hello.
I see great smiles on your face. Congratulations. You guys have earned your rematch against 7-9 tomorrow once more. It will be a bit different. It's a best of 7, but I want to know how you feel.
Obviously feeling very hyped for tomorrow after today's performance, but you know, we'll see how it goes tomorrow.
Compared to yesterday, right? Yesterday you guys went up against 7-9. Obviously there were some moments where it felt like RSG had a chance. 7-9 closed out 3-0 to die. You guys came into the lower bracket finals. Well, were you guys super confident that you guys knew that you could win this, or was there still some sort of, respect towards Phantom6, knowing that they might take a game off of you guys?
I mean, obviously, Phantom6 is still quite a strong team, I feel. They have quite decent players individually. So we did a lot of preparation for Phantom6, and we just basically outdrafted them in a sense, and it made us easier to play the game.
Yeah, I have a question for you, Ravens. You played different champions for all 4 games, so you went for the Senna, you went for the Corki, I mean, I want to jump into the Corki because, I'm a Corki main, so I love Corki myself. So how do you feel playing Corki and winning with Corki?
I mean, since Corki's package is very strong in Morif, that's why obviously I picked it for the package as well. And with the Storm Razor buff, I think now building crit on Corki is very strong. And especially if they have a lot of frontline, like what they had earlier, I think it's a very good pick.
So you did change your mind a bit, right? Because last time I spoke to you, you said that Corki was a bad pick. So early on, you mentioned that you guys outdrafted P6. Is that the main factor, or do you feel like you guys did a lot more things right?
I mean, obviously we out-miracle them quite a few times as well in game, but I think generally if we have a very good draft, I think it makes it easier for us to play the game, and we just pick what is comfortable for us, and do what's our win condition.
I see. So now I have a question as well. Were you at any point worried that early game, especially for the last game where Yoshi was so strong, 5-0 as the Riven, just bullying Tipper our lane. Same I consider Tipper that early game, he had a rough time. So were you guys worried at any point that Yoshi would be too strong, or you were like, it's under control, no worry guys?
I mean, at one point I think it was we were quite nervous about the Fiora, since he just keep solo killing Tipper left and right. But I think since he picked Fiora, and the champion itself is not very good at teamfight, so we just try to teamfight with him, and he's not really good.
Alright, so okay, I want to get your thoughts on this, right? The golden question, who do you think played the best in the series? You can say yourself, we will take that, but honest opinions, who do you think is the MVP?
I have to say myself, since
Any justifications? Why do you think it's yourself?
I think I played the most consistent, I guess, and I popped off a few times as well, so I'm not sure.
Alright, we will see if that is accurate. We're going to pull out the MVP screen right now. Let's check out who is the most valuable player, and it's Tipper. I want to hear from you, Raven, right? Because you say you popped off a lot of times. We saw Tipper had a horrible game 4. What is your comments to this? Do you agree? Do you disagree?
I mean, for the Renekton game, I wouldn't give him the MVP, but game 1 to 3, I think he performed very well, especially his Riven, his signature Riven.
Yeah, I mean, he did play well for the first 3 games. Personally, I wouldn't give Tipper the MVP. I think for me it was CWJ, but that's a whole different reason why. I think he wasn't really on the spotlight. But what do you think? Did CWJ play as well? I mean, of course you think you played the best, but if it wasn't you, who do you think else would have gotten the MVP?
Yeah, actually I would give it to CWJ as well. I think he's very selfless as a player, and he helps the team a lot, especially SSK in the jungle, and he plays for us basically, and I have very huge respect to him as a teammate.
Right. So you guys are riding on a high tide right now, right? Let's talk about tomorrow. So yesterday was a tough defeat. Today was a great victory. You guys are obviously feeling really good. What's going to be the mindset going into tomorrow? Because we only have 1 slot, right? Unfortunately, we only have 1 slot to see finals, and you have to face off against your biggest nemesis against Semnai, which so far you guys haven't been able to beat them in a full series. And tomorrow we get a best of 7 grand finals. How is it gonna feel like tomorrow, going into tomorrow?
I think after today's victory, I think we will try to ride the momentum following for tomorrow's games, and hopefully we can win some games against M9.
Some games.
Got the victory.
Because we have
hopefully
we've always hopefully, right? We've always hoisted Sem9 up on a pedestal. We say that they're the best team. And I want to hear from you right now. Do you think Sem9 has a weakness? Like, what would that weakness be?
Ooh, should I say on broadcast?
I mean, you don't have to.
You don't have to.
Yeah, prefer not to since we are going to face them tomorrow. But
All right, right.
Okay, I mean, fair enough. I mean, just one question from me, which is I've been bothering my on my mind for a while. So, when you guys gave Fiora first time to Yoshi, he played extremely well. Then when the fourth game, you guys were like, you know, let's just give him the Fiora. I mean, was that planned, or you guys like, oh, we let it slip, or you guys decided to ban the set? It was more important, or what do you think about the Fiora?
I think it's because we know where the Fiora will be going, which is most likely to Yoshi. So we just planned like what Tipper is gonna play against Fiora, which was Renekton. And I mean, it didn't go as well as it supposed it should be. But I mean, yeah, Yoshi played well, but it was planned.
All right, so one last thing before we let you go. I want to give you the stage, right? Tomorrow is your biggest day. Any last words? Anything you want to let everyone out there know?
I guess thanks for supporting us throughout this journey, and hopefully we won't let our fans down tomorrow. Hopefully a victory against Sem9, then we'll go to C Champs, but we'll see how it goes.
That's all we need to hear from you. Thank you very much, Raven. Congratulations on your victory today again. We will see you guys tomorrow for the epic showdown against Sem9. But for now, you know, ride that momentum, enjoy your victory, have the good rest of the day. We'll see you guys for the grand finals.
Thank you.
I mean, Raven's man. I mean, he's exuding confidence. You know, like man just sits down like, yeah, we're gonna win. I mean, like he didn't say he's gonna win, but he felt it.
Yeah, you like it when not you, all of us love it when you see confidence in the player, and even though you're up against hard matchup, if you go in thinking that you've already lost, that's a problem, right? You want to go in thinking that you are good enough, that you can win. And let's take a look at the brackets. This is going to be the final time we look at the whole bracket, because we're setting up for tomorrow. We started off with 8 teams in the group stage. We finished with 6 in the playoffs. Sem9 and RSG started off with a bye round. As Upcard Esports, they fell to P6 early on. Watermelon got a good head start over Pathseeker. Then we go into the lower bracket. Watermelon lost to Upcard Esports in one of the biggest upsets that we have. Phantom6, another reverse sweep onto PSK, and they also took down Upcard to get into the lower bracket finals. But up there, it was just Sem9 stealing the show, beating P6, beating RSG, and ended up, in the state. RSG won 4-0 against Phantom6 just now, and we get the grand final. Sem9 against RSG, one last best of 7, one ticket to see finals.
You know, you can never use bracket math as an indicator, because I had a friend earlier this morning say, Phantom6 took one game off Sem9 and RSG couldn't get a single game off Sem9. So it's going to be obvious Phantom6 is going to win. But as you can see today, 4-0, RSG was not playing around, they got the win, and you can never use brackets as a measurement.
Yeah, and that's it. Grand final schedule. There's only one thing on the screen and one thing on our minds. Sem9 against RSG, the epic rematch, the grudge match. Malaysia against the best team from Malaysia facing off against the best team from Singapore. We have seen these guys from the start until the end. We've built an entire story around them, and tomorrow is the grand finale. We are approaching the crescendo of this narrative.
And of course, I realize, Husky, you have a little more something to share with us, so why don't you share with us?
Yeah, absolutely, right? Again, I said Wild Rift is not just about WCS, because we have the FSL Wild Rift Open 2 coming up. And of course, the tournament date is going to be from 18th to 21st April. Registration is already open right now. It's $1,000 in terms of prize pool. 4th to 13th April will be the registration date. Bring your friends, former teams, sign up. It's a female-only tournament. But who says you guys can't get a taste of competitive Wild Rift? This is the perfect platform. So do remember, if you want a chance to shine, if you want to show us what you're made of, join Wild Rift Open 2.
Yeah, and really excited to see all the players coming out for FSL. A lot of strong female players that I've known as well, and I'm excited to have this tournament open just for them to showcase their skills. And it's going to be something to look out for in the future, but we have to look out for what's coming in our near future. Tomorrow, grand finals, Sem9 RSG. I can't wait.
Okay, hold on. We're not gonna be here tomorrow, right? Predictions.
Yep.
Let's go.
Okay, Sem9 4-2.
7942. I don't know if I'm writing the copium too hard, too much, but after yesterday, I said Sem9 will 3-0 RSG, and everyone was like, you're thinking too much, right? You are sniffing on the hopium, and they beat 3-0. 4-1 Sem9 tomorrow. That's gonna be my prediction. But let's take a look at the trivia answer. No, we asked you guys what is Nunu's Yeti's name, and it's actually D. Wilson. No, it's C. Willem.
Yeah, you almost got me there. You almost got me, Wilson Smith. But if you were paying attention earlier to the first trivia, you have known the answer was already Willem because we spilled it. Sorry.
Yeah, we spilled
the producer.
Yeah, and we were not informed. It's not our fault. It happens.
So this is a freebie for you guys. So
It's
if
a
you got
freebie.
it, good job. If you didn't, then you gotta do summer school here.
Yeah, gonna do summer school. League of Legends has a lot of great laws. I mean, I think my favorite is Riven actually came from Noxus instead of Ionia originally. But we do have, again for the grand finals, we have been enjoying your memes so far. We enjoy your creations, but we want to now channel the power of your creativity. Make your memes for the grand finals tomorrow. Submit it with the hashtag WCS MYSG, and it will have a chance to be featured tomorrow on broadcast. So, grand finals related memes, Sem9 against RSG. Show us what you guys can concoct out of that mixing pot of creativity. Bring out those memes. We will feature it. Just remember, put the hashtag WCS MYSG.
Yeah, and of course, like we said just straight away at the start, we love the memes, so keep them coming, keep them coming. Of course, Husky, it's been a great day here with you. 4-0 for RSG. Gonna be even better for them.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a banger. But for now, we are gonna sign off. I'm Husky, his line out. Tomorrow, we have Grandin and Omo in the studio to bring you guys the best of sevens. No one is better to do so. Sem9 against RSG. Mark down your calendar, mark down your clock. It is time for the final showdown. We will see you guys tomorrow for the grand finals.
Thank you.